Welcome to session 7 of Spelljammer, everybody. You've got a recap.
I do have a recap. I have Rune's personal log. Because it's the only person who makes sense who was there the whole damn time. And awake.
Yeah.
Is the other problem. Rune's personal log, Toro 1496 DR, 6th day of Crythorn. Well, the ship was on fire today, which isn't a new thing, but it's weird that this is the third time I've been on a ship that's on fire. Once we mustered ourselves up to the source of the commotion, the halls were filled with thick black smoke, and the chef had vanished into thin air, leaving us scratching our heads and squinting through the haze. Into the depths of that smoky maze we ventured, only to discover that the fiery inferno was only the beginning. Tiny flame mephits barred our path, and as if that weren't enough, when we finally managed to quench one of the fiery troublemakers, it decided to go out with a bang that nearly sent us all packing. Our savior of the day, Ido, managed to rescue the chef from the brink of an untimely rendezvous with Miracle. We dispatched the remaining fire mephits, all the while keeping a wary eye on Micken, who was acting mighty suspicious. After the dust, or rather smoke, had settled, I decided to have a little chat with our enigmatic friend. It took some prodding, but eventually he spilled the beans. Turns out he'd been coerced by some shadowy figure claiming to have his beloved kidnapped. He was forced into the role of a saboteur, the puppeteer behind those explosive events. I promised Micken it would be okay. I may have lied a little. I'm not sure it will be, but better to be honest. Probably. The chef, sensing that our ragtag band could use some clarity, though, summoned a rescue party for himself, Micken, and the 2 other recruits, and left us to ponder cosmic mysteries of the ship and complete our mission alone. As it turns out, the Auto-Gnome was rather forthcoming on what had happened to the ship. It turns out the Beholders had captured him and his people, and then the Beholders had wiped them all out, leaving behind a whole heap of unanswered questions. Destiny may be knocking on our door, but we're not quite ready to answer. So we did decide to head towards the probe's location, hopeful for some answers before we confront the meteorite. Along the way, I decided to delve deeper into Vaxus's past. He was once a prince, a veritable royal of lore, but then came the revolutionaries, the anti-vaxxers, and they had no love for rulers chosen by prophecy. They tore his family asunder, and he even suffered a stint as a slave, learning the art of lifting heavy things before simply leaving, according to him. What baffles me is Vaxus's almost nonchalant attitude towards the tragedies that have scarred his past. It's as if he's made peace with it or perhaps become numb to it. I can't decide if he's hiding something profound or if he's just mastered the art of stoicism. Or maybe the only thing in that head these days is how to lift. And log.
Got that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, it's just the fact that it's normal to him. Oh yeah, it's not that interesting.
Why will he become numb to all of the trauma? It's rather pedestrian.
The only thing in Vex's head is, how do I lift better? That's it. Everything else is unimportant and
Could
pushed out.
Vex's experience of trauma so great, even he couldn't lift it?
No.
Yes, and he lifted anyway.
Point of information, inspiration for you, sir.
Thank you. I will take it.
And who would like to get a little help from Destiny today? Bearing in mind that you, sir...
I have one in the bank.
You have one in the bank.
Where are we? Because we did like one full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Where are we in that cycle now?
Us 3, I think, are the ones
okay.
left.
Yeah, I believe so.
I have a pick.
Mm-hmm.
I believe everyone has got at least one pick.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any second. This is...
So I think, Vaxus was going to be the first round of the second.
But I mean, I could volunteer one of you if you want a bit of a tiebreaker.
We got no strong feelings one way or the other.
I have none.
I'm gonna go gooey.
Oh, it's
Ooh,
gooey.
okay.
Gooey.
Slam your legs down.
It's fair.
Unless he wants to actively say no.
I've got
I've got some chef skills.
I've got enough fate touch shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always tempting to say Rune.
Now. I have a different option.
I have super amounts of luck.
So yeah, the poor, misguided little cadet was sent home with all of the crew. I don't think I spelled out enough. It is quite... you're not graduated from the academy yet, so it's quite an honour for you to be given command of a ship and say, off you go. So, yeah.
Or perhaps it was because no one else wanted to be here and everyone was like,
Maybe.
well, if we send the cadets and they die, it's not that big loss.
They're either expendable or destined.
That's kind of the same thing in my experience.
So you have 16 days travel. I assume the revelations of Axis came night 1.
Whenever he was asked about them, like, he wasn't hiding it, he just didn't bring it up because he thought it was kind of a pedestrian backstory.
Yes, I believe the intent was the next day it was going to be released.
Next day, Vaxus was like, you know what, I've talked enough now, but...
We've had plenty of revelations about the Vaxus Kingdom. Now is time for another person.
Sorry, it's not the Vaxus Kingdom, it's just it's got a different name. Don't worry about it.
What is the
It's got a
name?
different name. What's the name?
It's the Kingdom of Rune.
Kingdom of Rune.
Rune.
That is...
And who is Rune?
I am. But I don't think this...
Well, I meant
it's-
in that...
No, it's spelled different.
Is it?
Yeah.
How is it
How
spelled?
do you spell my name?
Well, I spelled your name Rune.
Yes.
And this was...
ROON.
Oh.
Oh, that's totally different.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably not. It's some kind of thing where over the decades it's
Yes.
I mean, functionally, my people don't really have a written language because all communication is telepathic. So fundamentally, there is no difference in written word pronunciation. It is exactly your name. But humanoids, you have your funny little written systems. It's adorable.
But I meant in Vax's case, who is Rune to you? The Kingdom of Rune. Who or what is Rune?
Oh, I don't know.
This feels like an important thread to pull on, but not with him.
Are there any statues or portraits? Or...
Oh no, I don't think it's named after it. I think that's just the name of the kingdom.
Could I roll a history check to see if I have heard of the Kingdom of Rune?
Yes.
I'm not rolling this. I feel bad.
With my shiny new expertise in history.
16 for me.
21.
Let's put it in there to mess with Brad.
yeah, that feels right.
As an out of character answer, that's fine. In character answer, that's fine.
I guess the one thing I will say is that I think the DC... I think only you would have got it because this is a different planet, right? This is not...
Oh yeah, this is Garden, I believe.
Terrible. Yeah, it's Garden.
Yeah, the Kingdom of Rune on Garden.
To know about a kingdom on an entirely different system is quite...
Yeah. I have taken Knowledge Cleric as my level up, and I'm tapping into the 3 parts of the Great Mind, which is the sort of theistic system on Uth, which is the Great Id, the Great Ego, and the Great Super Ego. You can take a guess at which one I know.
It's getting bigger. Jesus.
Freudian psychology. It's right now.
It has a physical aspect. That's the interesting bit. Anyways,
Perfect.
the next day.
You've got 16 days.
Yes, but the next day. Like,
So Rune, I believe it's only fair
yes, that's fair, right?
that you tell us a bit about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Do you know of the kingdom?
Of Rune? No, I grew up on a pirate ship.
So you said you had many parents.
Yes.
Was it a social cooperative or?
Well, I didn't. We had like a. There's not a in Changeling. There's not a. There's a word for the person who gives birth to you, but beyond.
But it's a separate social construct to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had lots of
Like
the
I've got one hand like this, and then the lower hands are scribbling notes.
That is both convenient and concerning. I had lots of parents. The equivalent would be uncles and aunties, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Is the right way of putting it. And we travelled around, and
this
nice.
was the pirate ship you grew up
Yes,
with. So your family were pirates?
Yes, my family were pirates. We would travel around, they would say "ar" a lot, and they would just go from place to place. And then when we get into the port towns, they would take all the pirate stuff down, and then they would sell things and then come back on the board. Then we take the ship out again and we go do pirating. But they would just have the pirate flag us and say "ar" a lot. And then we would go to the next place and buy some more things and then ferry them back and forth.
So you were merchants?
No, we were pirates because they made the "ar" noise. And they had the flag with the skull and crossbones and such. I don't understand what you're not getting.
It's a fascinating exercise in semiotics, is it not? About whether the sign and signifier actually mean the signified.
Well,
Epistemologically, I suppose it comes down to whether being a pirate comes down to the actions of being a pirate or self-determination.
They just said "ar" a lot.
I'd like to know more about the whole Destiny thing. And Vax is sitting in a chair like this. And then when you look closely, he's actually not touching the chair that he's sat above. He is air chairing on one leg.
Okay, so he is still touching the ground with one leg.
He's touching the ground
He's
with one
not
leg.
That's an important
developed telekinesis, though.
No.
So, yes.
He just pretends one leg or what.
The Destiny stuff. Alright, I'll get to that. Sometime later, when I was a bit older, I was on the ship with all of my family and we were flying about. And then something... Nautiloid? With the tentacly faces things.
Wiggly ship.
Wiggly ship, yes, that one. Showed up and grabbed my ship and started burning and killing people and psychic blastings and people
Unfortunate.
dying, yes. And when that occurred, I was thrown from the ship into this. And
With the astral sea.
yes. And then I floated for about, I don't know, well, we're always told if we float out that way, you have about 10 minutes or so before, yeah. And then I woke up and there were the people that we saw.
So the very last thing that you experienced before waking up in that sort of hollow hallucination...
Oh, when I saw
Magia.
them, there was a big grassy hill and a tea set. And they were very difficult. They weren't as distinct as they were at the time that we saw them. They were more like one person who was three. It was very weird. But I've been told
How many limbs do they have?
either 6 or 2.
Oh, 6 would be interesting.
Like I said, it was very difficult to say. They were like one person but 3 and very
But
complex.
if there were 3 people, each of those 3 people
Would have had 2 limbs.
would have had 2 or 4.
2 limbs per person. 2 arms. Oh, you mean
2
limbs.
arms and legs.
I'm assuming you don't mean the leggies.
Yes.
So 4 limbs per person.
Per
then.
body.
Yes.
Yes. If they had separate bodies, each of those bodies would have had 4.
Yes.
Right.
And if they were
Different thing. That's fine.
Yes. 4 times 3. Yes. 4 times 3. It's 12.
12.
limbs.
Yes.
I can do some maths. Anyways.
Primate body mass.
So-
fun.
So when I saw them, they spoke to me very briefly, and I ran because when I was growing up, my you don't have a word. Parent, but it doesn't. Parent is very informal. That's why we don't like using that word. It doesn't mean
Pirate buddies.
pirate buddies. Sure, pirate buddies.
Shipmate.
No, definitely not that. Because I was related by blood
Nakama?
to some of them. No,
Superior.
no, that is
Elder.
Yes, elder.
Caregiver.
Caregiver's not bad. We're getting held up on semantics
King?
here. No, not king. That is not right. We don't like kings. Anyways.
Oh.
You're a prince, you're fine.
I mean, the king's dead. Maybe I'm a king now.
If you have a revolution, I don't think so. That doesn't seem to
I mean,
work.
I don't know if it was a revolution or not. I mean,
More
look,
of a commissar or a general secretary. Or...
Anyways.
the anti-vaxxers cult believe in a different prophecy.
Okay, that's later.
I
It's the same prophecy, but a different prophecy.
I saw that my parents, my caregivers, they told me that the only people that destiny touches die. That's what happens to them. They never end well. All of them end up dead at the very. They complete their destinies, sure, but most of them
And then
don't.
drop like flies.
Yes, they don't live through it.
Everyone dies, though.
Yeah, how
No, not like them. And a lot of them don't end up dying well. When's the last time you heard of an old hero dying in their bed? Not from like dysentery or anything strange like that. No, that's like horrible shit. They die at.
I mean,
like,
I
on
do
battlefields
worry
and
about
things.
dying under the dumbbells because I've got knock on a spotter.
Give me a second.
No one else
Final
can.
destination 4, that shit. Yes.
I've got no.
So
one
it's an
who can
old tale
really
of my
hold
people.
it.
It's very specific that you knew that. But anyways, I didn't want anything to do with it, so I ran, kind of. It got very confusing at that point, and my timelines are a little strange. I wound up on Toro.
Your timelines are strange.
Well, it's very confusing, because I'm not sure when I got to Toro. I just ran, and I was not in a place that is here or there. I just was in a place.
So, is that a deficit of memory or chronology?
Either, both, possibly.
One is certainly more interesting than the other.
I have no frame of reference for what time I was in when I happened.
Do you know what year it was?
No, I never keep track.
Okay, how did you get from there to Toro? What happened? Was it just
don't
running and suddenly you were there?
I ran from the Tea Party, and then I was on Toro. And then I thought to myself, well, I've seen Destiny, or something like it, because I was told what Destiny kind of looks like. It should look like this. And they kind of said, well, I am Destiny, or the Fates, or something like that. And then I was on Toro. And then I thought, well, I'll do something that means that I can't get involved in things. And I tried to
So
do...
you chose to join an adventuring
No,
space
that
company.
came later. First I tried to be a baker.
Oh.
And you keep on seeing prophecy in the breads.
No,
Croissants!
No.
The flake of the croissants!
No, I burned down the bakery.
Oh.
On purpose?
No, that was an accident. A series of very strange accidents that happened in sequence, very fast. The baker was happy his insurance paid out. Apparently he had very good insurance. He was perfectly happy for the bakery to burn down.
It was like one of those Rube Goldberg things.
Who's Rube Goldberg?
They're a pair of mages and they designed probability manipulating machines.
Oh, that sounds very interesting.
It's like, you put a marble on a table and it rolls off and knocks over a candle, which then rolls over and sets fire to a bag.
It was kind of...
Which
then the bag-
activates a trans-dimensional portal.
It was a bit less like that, more like that.
Then
but
the,
yes.
the bag, because it catches on fire a little bit, all the flour starts spilling out, and then it imbalances the table, so it tips over. The flour goes all in the air, and then the fire causes a dust explosion.
That's not far off from what happened, yes.
Which sets off a pair of etheric crystals which manipulate the very fabric of reality itself.
What kind of bakeries do you go to?
I'm sorry, what?
If someone is destined, surely it would make no difference running from it or not, because you'd be destined to do whatever it was you were always destined to do.
How do you know what destiny has in store for you? I thought I thought I could trick it and say, oh, maybe I'm destined to be a baker. That is not true.
So destiny burned down your bakery.
Not mine, actually. Somebody else's, some poor bakers.
But if you're concerned that anyone with a destiny dies horribly, shouldn't you be worried that you would have died in a horrible baking accident?
Destined heroes die horribly.
Oh, destined, right.
Heroic destiny. I guess heroic villain or villainous destinies, that's a thing as well, I suppose. And they die
Tragic destinies.
They die quite horribly, usually.
I don't think I like Destiny. I don't like the idea that I'm not the one in control of my own lifting.
You are carrying around a sword that is literally destiny. Do you know prophecy is destiny, right? You know the same are synonymous.
I know, I've got an obligation to look after the sword, and as soon as I hand it over to someone else, I can go off, away and do my own thing.
It's a rather acute metaphor for generational trauma, isn't it?
As soon as I can burden it with somebody else, then it will no longer be my problem. That sounds...
What if you wrote a prophecy about someone else? And said, and then did Alaric, this mythic figure, take on the prophecy of me?
Hang on.
I think I would need to be a destiny prophecy.
Vaxis grabs grabs a notebook and a pen and just scribbles something down, rips it out, folds it up, hands it over to Rune. And Rune lived happily ever after.
I thank you, but I don't think that's really going to work. I tried to be a baker, a guard.
I have a better idea. And then Vaxis takes the sword in the stone and uses it to scratch into the wall, and Rune lived happily ever after.
That's going to be there forever, and people are going to be very confused when they find it.
Casting mending on the wall.
How did you cast? How did you spell rune? Out of curiosity.
Rune. I know how to spell my friend's name.
It's going to be a minute. It's a bit pocket watch, isn't it?
But I tried to be a baker. You saw I told you
Custom
about
menu.
that. A tanner. I tried to
Did the
sell
tanner
flowers.
Did it work?
No,
Doesn't work,
I got
does it?
fired from
Hammers.
that one.
Yeah,
There
well,
was
I got mending now from
basically
spells
a
as well.
series of tragic
But
events.
does
that meant
mending
that
restore the wool, or is it now etched in there and invulnerable
Till
film?
time itself.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, but I just kept trying to do different things, and eventually I realized that if I just wait around for a couple of seconds, and then that flyer for looking for Spelljammer pilots slapped me in the face
Right.
4 times in the same day.
So if you just
It's
stand
very
still,
cinematic.
It really, Destiny has a flair.
Dare I say it was a little twiddles his antennae in your face.
Yes, it was that. Yes, it
okay,
was
I have an idea.
right.
Stop the ship.
Put the
So,
pressure on.
so we stop the ship. Okay, now I need to wiggle the mouse a little bit more often. Too busy talking.
Quick question: who's flying?
Me, I guess.
Same every day? Just you?
Today I will.
Today.
I think Vaxis was flying the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we stop the ship, and no one do anything, and we just see what happens to Rune.
For how long?
Yes, we have to go to the probe. We can't not go. It's not like I'm actively trying not to.
Okay,
do
no, I
things
think
right now.
we're supposed to go to the probe. Just wondering to see if anything
Make a slight
different.
hand check.
Different happened if something.
Yeah.
Cool. I cast Thaumaturgy to like an ominous rumble sound as the ship slows down. 16 on sleight of hand.
Did you leave the handbrake on?
Maybe. What about you, Jax? You got any of this primate weirdness?
No, I form my own arms and legs and.
Yeah, but I mean,
did,
like,
did you mean the destiny?
Yeah.
Or the secrets, perhaps?
Well, yes, I suppose by your sense it would be destiny, I suppose, or a prophecy, probably more accurately.
We're up to our what's a human got? Kidneys in prophecies.
Yes, I spent a very long time out here in the void, really.
You look so confused.
Just travelling amongst the stars with another god, I guess, or some very powerful being.
What god specifically? Do you know?
Never gave a name, really.
And how many limbs did they have?
It was more of a feeling than a physical entity.
Maybe the god was the friends you made along the way.
I don't know. I was in there too long. I've forgotten everything from before. But they said that the trouble was coming, and that I had to get out there and help.
Right.
And
How are you planning to do so?
Well, I thought I'd find out along the way. Although it appears my calling might be as a chef.
To save the universe.
Well,
Can't save the universe on an empty stomach.
yeah, they didn't actually say that I'd have to save the universe. Just that danger was coming, and that
And you had to help.
Yes, they were very nondescript about how.
I'd like that.
I suppose you can't be held to account by technically helping.
That kind of destiny beat's okay. It's like you don't have to be the hero. You just have to be like kind of there to help out a little bit.
Yes, they were infuriatingly vague. But I suppose that's the thing with prophecies.
You know, I hate it when someone is vague and not forthcoming with all the details. Baxter says that with a straight face. Ryan's laughing. Baxter's not.
I don't
The
know
important
either.
details.
Roll
His
me an
Ooh.
intelligence check.
Ooh. I should check something.
That is a nat 20.
They weren't vague at all. They specifically said for you to go directly to the academy.
Yes.
I may have missed a particular key, but
Yes, but if I recall correctly, beyond that, so they pointed me in a direction.
I can remind you of the line that they gave you.
Oh, please do, because.
go to the Spelljam Academy. Go specifically to the left-hand story on the 3rd level,
Yes.
and it
Not
is
the 4th
critical.
level.
It is critical you do this in this particular time frame.
That is, yes.
And on that
Find
20,
someone named Micken and punch him in the kidney.
the figure that you saw was specifically cloaked in shadow. It didn't appear to have a body.
Yes, I knew I couldn't see the physical form. I'd forgotten why that. It's weird. I imagined it as shrouded in light. Interesting. How the memory. Yeah, they were relatively nondescript. I suppose I could refine it slightly
Please.
more.
Were they lifting at the time?
No,
Okay.
they were not that I could see. No, just that I had to return to the academy.
Return. Been there before?
Theoretically, one would imply. It's been too long. I've forgotten what my life was like before I started wandering the stars.
Were you always the plasmoid?
I assume so. Were you always what you remember to be?
In my
Used to
case,
be.
no. I've been lots of things. I've been him once.
Yes,
Yes.
tremendous, wasn't it?
But yes, I had to return to the academy to help train heroes that will save my planet.
Do you God's name is this by chance? No.
They again, they were not big on names.
What's your planet?
Oh, that's a jolly good question, isn't it? I can't
This is
remember if
why I don't have a
Earth.
planet. It's nice and
Did you say
easy.
Earth?
With a U.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, I can't remember the.
The important bit is they're in this world, in the same world
Yeah.
system.
Can we pull up the list of planets again?
Yeah, I can. You might have access to it already. It's in the journal section.
Oh, in the journal. Okay.
I'll see who's
In the middle.
This one.
Up one more.
Yeah, that's
That one. That's the ticket.
It's in. I got it. There we go.
Realm space map.
So we got Cathar, Garden, Glyph, Anida,
Capri,
Sun.
Chandos,
not the sun.
Koliar, Anadia, Toril.
I don't think he's from Toro.
No, you tend to be a bit more sort of, well, bony.
He's solid.
Probably Anidea. Can I say that?
Right next to the sun.
It's very warm.
Pelor's light.
There you go. Probably explains why you're melty.
Does it?
I'm an anatomist. You can trust me.
I guess so. It makes enough sense anyways.
Doubt. Text to doubt.
1,000.
He's an anatomist who thinks he's a very good anatomist.
Which
And
one
has
did
a
you say you're from?
technical +8 in medicine.
Anadia.
Of Zoidberg.
Yeah.
The book says it's a spherical earth body. That's
There you
all
go.
I have for you.
The memory is vague and hazy generally. But,
I think the gods who spoke to me were called Istar. So.
The surface of Anadania is an expanse of badlands and dry washes except for its poles, where land flattens out into gently rolling fertile hills, dotted with forests and patches of grassland. A community of halflings occupy the polar areas, while the barren wastes are populated by monstrous predators and scavengers.
we were in the Barrens.
Eat.
It was an oasis. I think there was a lot of water.
It sounds nice. So you have a destiny, I have a destiny, he's wearing a destiny.
Well, but I know obviously a very, very similar story. I mean, 6 or 7 generations of my family all went to the same university, so there's a tremendous amount of pressure there.
That's not destiny. I don't think a silver spoon is destiny.
Depends, did they pull the silver spoon from a stone?
Well, I don't know if I have a destiny. They're just more of a
General.
ethereal guidance.
That's kind of destiny.
I mean, I think it's much of a muchness between destiny and rampant nepotism, isn't it? Because is it nothing more than someone choosing you to be extremely great? Extremely great.
I don't.
Monstrously, world-spanningly great.
Okay. Pump the brakes.
The finest medical mind this system or any other has ever seen.
Dr. James, you're getting a little bit megalomaniacal.
Good night.
Right. Well, if we're all out here chasing or finding or running away from destiny, at least we're in good company.
You're right, Rick. You sent me a message.
No.
You're just looking at me disappointedly.
I think he's just staring off into space at all of us being bullshit.
You're saying a word quite a lot, and it's quite funny because of the name of the next scene. So
Is it destiny?
close.
Destined? Dustin.
Well,
Well, who? Talking of destiny, who is hungry? I think I found my new calling.
Well, let me tell you,
right.
I require sustenance. As a general rule.
I could eat. Is it something I can eat, or is it something you like to eat?
No, I found the old cookbook.
Oh,
so I'm going
right.
to follow those recipes. I don't know if I have to do the voice.
No.
I prefer if you did.
Well, I did like it, but I don't. You don't have to.
Hey, grab zap. Zap.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
Better
good.
than I can do. I could never do voices.
I'm unsure which part of the instructions I have to follow to make the food taste good. So I don't know if it's the accent, or
Give it the old university
things.
try.
Yeah.
Do
And then,
everything, and then
like,
if it goes badly, we can take things away until it starts tasting nice.
And the limbs will form different utensils.
You should use
Fascinating.
utensils, not your hands.
Yeah, that'll be lesson number 1.
He's technically internally sterile, though.
Internally, yes. but
I've often
he's-
considered using him to, scrub up before surgery.
That is the quality of the food that I've
Ooh, mama!
That one.
No, opposite.
That
Ooh.
20. I'm a little bit disappointed, actually. I was hoping
You wanted to get poisoned.
a little bit,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
I thought it'd be
that's
funnier.
Twenty-two.
We've still got 14 days. And how often are you eating a day?
3 times. The odds of him poisoning us go up every day.
Vaxus has more than 3 meals a day.
I think Ido probably eats about once every 3 days, in line with actual mantises. He doesn't have a sense of hunger, so it's very dangerous for him to be around food in large quantities more than once every 3 days,
yeah.
because otherwise he can get intestinal bloat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nat 20 and then the next 5 rolls are all below 10.
Oh, excellent!
Score! I got the best deal out of this.
It has lots of protein shakes as well, and meaty snacks, like a lot of jerky.
When you were resupplied, you were given just generic rations, but Rybeck did leave plenty because he was the cook, so he brought his own supply. So you don't have to eat the Jex cooks. You could also just pick the standard trail rations.
Mm. It probably has both.
There's also a selection of sweet treats.
I'll whack one of those down, sure.
Which will give you 2 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
Cool. I was worried I was going to have to roll a Constitution saving throw, and then I wasn't worried anymore when I remembered my Constitution.
As the journey progresses, Ido is making a couple of things. First of all, is
24 on a con save.
I can't remember what things I was. Sorry, I sent you messages about these and it's completely escaped my mind.
It's boundless coffee.
Yes, so the first. Yeah, that's the one. That's the other one I forgot. So yeah, Ido is sort of there he devotes a little space to build like a workshop. He puts some flat boards across on the top of some crates, and is there with just bits of tinkery stuff. What? And genius. And yeah, the first thing he comes up with is basically like a thermos flask with like the tartan wrap around it. One of those, and it's just there, sort of. Anybody?
What
Yeah,
is
right.
it?
It's tea.
Oh,
Yeah, pours out.
sure.
Pours out, and then it doesn't ever seem to sort of stop.
It's magic.
It's been a while since I've
Magic
had a good
tea.
cup of tea.
Mm.
I think the last one was
Darjeeling.
Darjeeling. Mm.
It's very nice tea.
Yeah, and so that will never run out. It has no mechanical effect, but it will never run out. He also comes up with like a flower pot, like with these strange, like skittering runes around the outside, and you see him there. I think 1, 2, 3. You see at some point you see him looming over you with spectacles and just gives some little tweezers and picking a grass seed off of your coat that's just got stuck to the end and just plants it in the flower pot. And now we wait.
Should I be concerned?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
alright.
And then finally, you see him at one point. He brings out the glass orb we got from the big jellyfish. We got like a 20 whatever, not 20 on the half thing. And then for a few days afterwards, you know, like how mad scientists in films, you'll see the outside of the room, and occasionally light just goes.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, being a bit megalomaniacal again.
Noted! And then he comes out with a new set of spectacles, which look like they've got that sort of pearlescent sheen on the outside of the lenses.
The glasses are nice.
Thank you.
Do they do anything nice?
Yes.
Are you going to tell us?
Oh, would you like to?
You don't have to.
I'd like maybe just see it the first time.
Oh, you see, so it's a pentacle lens formation because he's got the 3 simple eyes and then the 2 big compound eyes, and the lenses actually sort of cover all 5 of them in different angles. The wearer is protected from being charmed, so I'm immune to charm while I'm wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
He will say that in Ido speak, which is posh and long.
Confusing.
Posh, long, and confusing.
Does that mean I should just stop trying to be charming to you?
Oh, never stop that.
Cool.
Or start.
Right.
I've been
Okay.
perfectly charming this entire time. I figure us high society people have to stick together.
Oh, well, yes, of course. Yes. Right. Yeah, that's what Ido is up to during the journey. He's bit crafting and
Cool.
I would apologise for trolling you all.
but you don't want to. You
No.
don't dread it.
I'm having a great time doing it.
I think during the journey, beyond the meals and piloting and everything, I think Runa's mostly just not doing a lot. I think there's times where she'll be sitting just on her own and kind of like staring off into space.
That central room, that was like a big sphere type thing, right? Where no matter where you stood, you were on the ground, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Vaxis does his cardio in there.
Just running around the outside. Oh, what the film is that from?
It's like a hamster.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
but sometimes he'll just jump straight up and do a flip and land on the other side.
Isn't Space Odyssey that happens in that, doesn't it?
Yeah. At one point, I will lean over to Yuru and point at Vaxis doing this round. Did you know that if you place a wheel out in the wilderness of Toril, rodents naturally will run to the... You know how some primates keep small rodents as
Pets. And
pets?
things,
Yes, as I understand the term is. We have a similar thing on Uth where we have small parasitic lice which live in our lung tissue and keep it clean. But
That is not the same thing.
Oops. Sorry.
reasonable people can disagree. Did you know that if you put a wheel, which most primates keep for their young parasitic rodents to run in, wild rodents also feel the urge to run in them? Just something to think about, and I should look over to Vaxis.
I was mostly thinking
You
about
know-
how fast he would go and how long he would fall if he tripped.
I just about 15 minutes later you call me over and I just say, Vaxis, would you give me an assistance for a moment? I just plonk like a padded helmet on your head. There's a good boy.
Well, while you're having this conversation, as Vaxis as he runs past you, he goes, you know, if you put up a wheel connected to a generator, I wouldn't be offended.
Now that's an idea.
I feel that's exploitation.
Did volunteer.
Yes,
And the energy is going to waste anyway.
can he volunteer though? Can he really consent? It's like kind of a child a bit.
I mean, all primates, so never mind.
I'm not technically a primate. At least I don't think so.
27.
Changing the through
I can change into anything. I'm not a primate. I'm more like a magical construct.
Ah, true.
What form are you born in?
Kind of this
That's
one.
like the silvery,
gray
yeah.
skin with like multicolored hair and black eyes
Can
that stare
changelings
into the void.
reproduce with humans, for example?
My birth parent used to say, don't have relations with other strange races unless you intend to stay that way for a
That's
while.
no fun.
She might have meant it for a very good reason.
Oh, I see. Interesting. That's
I
some
don't.
kind of
I don't even know if I can.
plasmonic absorption of the DNA.
I don't even know if I can reproduce with anyone else.
Yeah,
like
fair.
from like if I find a female.
But
that's
all
like
of your elders, you say, parental units, etc., were
changelings. Yes,
Interesting.
we were all changelings.
Huh.
A little colony, apparently.
Curious. Yeah, well, I am going to do the wheel thing.
That's fine.
I don't know what it would possibly do in character.
But we have 16 days. At this point, we need something to do.
Yeah, Vaxis is running because he's got nothing else
I
to
know,
do.
it was the finale of Stargate SG-1, where they're stuck in a time loop and Ben Browder is running round and round the ship, and going slowly more insane. Great. Oh, I love that episode. It was a great ending.
Time loop, you said.
I do.
That one and the one with
Jack
the-
O'Neill in the,
oh,
in the
that's
porridge,
so
and he gets Fruit Loops at the end of the thing, and he's so happy.
So funny.
Yeah, it's good.
I love a Groundhog Day
I love
episode.
a time loop.
Uh,
Yeah, like Ido, I think it's 16 days. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure the things I am creating won't even fill that amount of journeys. So Ido is absolutely trying to get people on board for like shanty sing-alongs and stuff, and bits of like operatic. We sail the ocean blue, and our saucy ships are beauty.
So Vaxis has very powerful lungs and no natural rhythm. And he will drown you all out in the shanties
The worst
with
part-
really bad singing.
I'll point out that Ido also has no natural biologic ability to make sound, all through communication is telepathic.
So we're hearing beautiful music, but nothing is coming out through our ears.
Yeah, he's just like
this-
staring at you, completely unmoving.
This is very.
No,
This Does this
Now there's an idea.
But as the bard, I will attempt to provide backing music.
Outstanding.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll basically provide entertainment and food. I will practice my culinary skills to try and keep morale up. Yeah. Still a future armor joke, but only 23% lethal levels assault.
Feel free to continue describing the journey, but when you're ready, tell me who is flying the ship on the last day.
Last day.
Roll for it.
Yeah,
Sure.
why not?
Roll a d20, whoever gets highest.
I was going to say roll 1, 2, 3, 4, but yeah, whatever works. Should we roll off 20s?
I like
Sure,
rolling
roll
20s.
15.
17.
16.
4.
Me.
Of course, it was destined.
What's the name of the next leg of the area? What's
It's
it called?
Destiny Islands.
You'll find
And the
out
Heartless
in
are
a second.
coming.
Okay, right. It's all ruinous
Yeah.
piloting.
The familiar sensation of deceleration hits you as you jump out of hyperspace. You're on the edge here. Wisps of the astral sea lap upon the wild space system like a handshake from God, with the tentacles of an intruding entity. The nearby planet of Cathar is visible on the horizon, like an island on a gaseous ocean mere hours away. You have arrived at the coordinates you translated, and you spot a glint of reflected light amidst the void of stars, a metallic structure suspended in space. I need you, Mr. Spelljammer,
Yep.
to roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, okay.
You need to beat 15.
I'm glad I wasn't the one.
Is
Yeah,
this
my wisdom is
this
oh,
a-
no, my wisdom's twice my
is this a
charisma is
guidance-y thing, or is this a with
There'd be
save?
resistance.
This will be resistance. 7. It's no.
You do you have the session inspiration?
I do have the session inspiration. I'll use
It feels good, yeah.
it. 4. So 7.
Oh, and I don't have the item I got from the last session yet. Do I have the Destiny item?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I fail.
You feel a sudden loss, as if a limb has gone numb. Nothing seems to happen at first, but then you begin to notice that your ship is acting on its own, with a trajectory aiming directly at the structure.
I'm not in control.
We're being magnetized, or
No.
Need a sports massage?
No.
That is a very cool picture. Is this what we're heading towards?
It looks like a house.
what are the thread? Okay, does this look like the outside of the structure that we were inside in our first Cobra Dream hallucination hollow thing?
Nope.
Okay. What are the strandy bits on the bottom?
You don't know.
Like, I'm looking at the picture upside down, so I can't tell if I should be able to tell what it is
No,
from
I can't tell
the
what they
right
are. They look like tentacles or something else.
Does it?
There is nothing here that appears organic. It's all
machine
machines.
parts.
Does it look of similar construction to the probe?
From this far out, you can't tell. Roll me a
Maybe-
perception check.
I suppose we wanted to go there anyway.
12.
12.
Perception, you said.
Nat 20.
21.
Before you lies a creation of metal and light that shimmers and gleams in the reflected sunlight. All of the vessels you were taught about at the academy were of wooden construction, so seeing one made of metal is a new sight to you all. Spelljammer vessels technically don't need to float on water, they are flying spaceships after all, but seeing one made of metal leaves you feeling uneasy. The station's exterior emanates an otherworldly glow, rays of light like shimmering ribbons that dance across the structure, as if the station possesses a magical essence. You two spot on top of the structure as you're coming in the words Celestial Station 2, The Prophecy.
And of course we're the ones who see it.
Oh,
Oh.
Neat, huh?
it's named the prophecy.
The approach
Celestial
to the structure
Station 2.
is now unavoidable, and you slowly pull up alongside a small platform.
I suppose we did want to be here, so
Yes, exactly. So why do we need to do anything else? I guess
Right,
this is where we're going to be.
Yeah, I'll go in front.
I'll go behind. Maybe I could sneak ahead and see if I could scout anything out.
likewise.
The two of us will go forward, and you two hang back here for a bit.
Okay, sure. I'm happy to roll stealth as well.
So I noted if you developed some kind of telepathic organ.
No, I seem to get these little threads sometimes, and then I can feel.
Oh, we've got worms. Oh, well, I can deal with that. Hang on.
No, not worms. Like, there's an old legend about the threads of fate. They're red, and that's what's. There's some kind of weird magic-y thing.
Can we see these threads?
I
Can
don't
we see them?
think so.
I think specifically you said that we don't see them. They're only
Rune
visible in the
sees
room.
them, but
Okay.
that's it. I can. They're like little red threads.
Ah, curious.
They tie people. Supposedly, they tie people together. Supposedly, if you find a thread and you tie your pinky to another person's pinky, then you don't have pinkies.
I
And
thought there was a marriage
blood
ceremony.
loss.
No, it was like they tie lovers together.
Marriage ceremony, yeah.
But you shouldn't tourniquet a limb.
No, anyways, the red threads of fate. That's what they're called. And for some reason, occasion, I think I can make it happen. But you can already talk to me telepathically, so it's not that useful.
Yes, I just noted it happened the other day. I was curious.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out how they work. It seems tied to the god I met.
And you're certain it's unrelated to any kind of spontaneous biogenesis?
I got a nat
So-
20 on stealth.
Ooh.
Nice.
I also got a nat 20
We've
on
got nat
stealth.
20. What was the total on your perception?
Oh, 20.
Oh, no modifier.
No modifier on perception. He is not a wise boy.
I got 28 on stealth.
The stealth with a nat 20 was 23.
Okay, noted.
I got
Did the rogue not do well?
With guidance,
Right?
it's a 10.
I got a 23, but not natural. And did you also want
I'm
a
rogue as
Bringing the vibe of the group check down.
Did you also want a perception check now that we've docked?
Sure.
Well, yeah. Can we? I suppose.
Yeah,
we could-
Yeah, may I also do that?
Yeah.
Can I just keep my old one? I'll
For
roll
the
again.
outside, I'll allow it.
15. Because it's a 3 on the die that time, not a 2.
So
You guys do not like
eight-
me.
No.
18, looking more inwardly as opposed to the outside. Like, because if we pulled up, then is there anything or anyone waiting for us? Basically, at the.
Okay.
And I got 20 not that for perception and 28 for stealth.
Okay. You examine the edges of the station where you've docked. They are smooth and rounded, devoid of sharp angles or roughness. There are no windows. It seems as if every inch of the structure has been carefully crafted and polished to perfection. In some sections, you spot concentric rings reminiscent of an ethereal flower with its petals folded. A soft hum resonates from the station, barely perceptible. It is a gentle vibration that reverberates through the air. You have arrived at a single door, again, no windows. A panel of light with glowing symbols rests next to them. Again, the words Celestial Station 2, the prophecy is written.
Check for security measures then.
Yes.
Written in what language?
That is a good question. I want to say I want to say common. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Is it like engraved in there, or is it a digital display?
it's a digital display.
Okay.
Is it
Ooh.
over a flat plate, piece of slate and about a half centimetre above? Neat.
Okay.
Can
Giggling
I?
schoolgirl, huh, Joe?
And there is a small square, about yay big, solid white
What
beneath
would I
it.
need to do to check for traps?
Roll for me either.
Well, at least it's not the big.
There is no
red shiny.
technology rolled in this campaign.
Yeah.
So I
Investigation.
guess investigation or arcana, survival. Maybe.
24.
No, no obvious traps.
Push the white squarey thing.
Yeah.
That seems logical.
The door opens.
Pull out my cane and just
So
pull
you
the end
you
of
press
that.
it, right?
Okay.
What
I
are we
guess
seeing
we
there?
go in. Stealth round, look around
Before
corners,
before you
knives
go
out.
into the room,
Mhm.
I need a order.
Well, I said I was going first with the stealth.
If you're just looking inside the room, it is a pristine room bathed in immaculate white hues. You've never seen a room
I
that's
think
so clean.
Rune feels
I'll
pretty
go
confident.
somewhere in the middle.
Rune feels pretty confident she's quiet and she's invisible, so she'll go first.
Vactus is happy to go second so that he can provide
Yeah.
backup if if backup is required.
I'll go last.
The moment Factus approaches the door, the little white button turns red and the doors close, and then goes back to white.
So I'm on one side, they're on the other. Acting.
Okay.
Push the
Vactus
button.
presses the white button again.
Doors open.
Okay. Do you want to go through, either of you?
So hold on. So when did it turn red?
So
As a
Rune
Vactus
got
approach.
through
Rune
fine.
got through the door fine.
When Vaxis went to it
Approached.
after, and it stayed open when
Stayed
we
up,
went
yeah,
through.
yeah.
You try go through again, I think.
Okay, Vactus tries to go through again. Goes through.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then does
Why
it turn red
did
and
it-
close? Oh.
I'll try and go through.
Go for it.
Okay, and then I'll approach it and go last.
Yeah. all
Yeah,
good.
we get through.
Yeah, I'm not stopping.
What the hell was that?
Vactus takes off the sword and gives it a tug.
It has the same looseness as before, but it doesn't.
I'm going to start ritual casting detect.
Ryan, can you come here for a second?
Of course. Excuse me.
No.
You don't have to choose this, but I'm letting you know just in case it affects roleplay today.
Okay.
That is one of the options. And that can be you, the player, or Vaxis who does that.
Ooh, okay.
But you don't have to pick it. As just one of the options.
Oh, ooh.
Commas are really important because my brain was like, that can be you, or the player, or Vaxis. Has this been one massive long game? Is your name John?
Oh god.
These dice are wrong like shit. I put it down and I wrote
But
another
yeah, you
two
all enter
in
the room right instant after that.
I don't like being trapped. That felt bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll start ritual casting detect.
Okay, what happens if you try to leave, Rune?
I don't want to leave you guys in here trapped.
That's why it's just more that
And
stop
then
you
I'll
leaving.
be on the outside alone.
Yeah. Let's not split up yet.
I don't like. Here, let me re-change my foot. I don't like being trapped, and I don't like being alone. I was alone for a very long time in a very bad place. All right.
That's understandable.
Just for my visualization, so out of character, is this like an airlock that we're in? So there's a door at the other end. Has that got a similar white button?
So there are two doors in this room. Let me.
Oh yes. Yes.
So you've never seen a room so clean. In front of you stands a solitary desk with another large light panel in front of it, much bigger than the one outside. It's flanked by doors either side. Any of you investigate the screen?
I mean, is the screen lit up?
Yes, it is cycling through symbols. Some
Ooh.
familiar, others less so. Feel free to make an intelligence or history check. If you know more than 2 languages, you roll advantage.
Rune is.
I know so many languages.
I
Rune
do.
is visibly having a panic attack.
I'll pass Rune. Can I make a medicine check
I do know 2
try
languages.
and sort of slightly treat Rune's anxiety? And it's going to be one of the regular sort of squirming pustule kind of looking pills.
They all have to
And-
squirm.
No, and have a cookie. Hardly helpful.
24 on the medicine check.
Yeah.
And then it was history, was it?
History, yeah, or rent, if your choice.
Can
I
I?
will guidance if that's right.
Yeah.
And I will begin ritually casting comprehend languages.
25 on the history check.
Well, that's better than my 17. Also, I'm going to just give Rune a big hug.
I'm okay. I just had a little flashback, right?
Being trapped or?
Being alone.
Well, you've got us now.
Well, we're all here.
I know, but there was a moment where I was in the door and then trapped, and then there was the feeling of just being isolated.
Well,
Do you want to hold my hand?
No.
Do you want to sit on my shoulders?
No. No.
We could use some rope and I could wear you like a backpack.
I don't want that. I don't think anyone should ever want that. I think in an emergency situation where I need to be carried out of a place, sure, why not throw me around like a rag doll? But otherwise, no. Please.
This would be great for my cardio. Also comforting.
You only think about lifting, don't you?
Well, I've cast
Exercise.
comprehend languages. Am I
Maybe.
allowed to roll at the same time?
Yes, so this is not a check to see whether you understand it. It's
Oh.
more for some other insights that you may
Okay,
gain.
and is this a religion check?
No, it's an intelligence or history check.
Oh, it doesn't matter because I've rolled a 2, so it's not going to be good.
Anyone else?
17, I believe I said.
History, so 22.
So you two realise that it is cycling through every language that you all know.
Plus some additional
No.
ones.
Very
the ones that
specifically
we
the ones
know.
that you, if you were to compile a list of all the languages that you collectively can speak, it is
I
just
love
those
the
languages.
Oh, so
concept.
it's still giving me languages that I can't read, but because
But
no,
one
well, they're
other,
the ones-
another person
but-
in this
yes.
party can.
There are two things I love about that. Firstly, it's responding to us, which is the realization. And secondly, that one of those languages in Thieves can. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, blimey, out the apples and bears!
And then
oh, this is a gift. No, it's not.
What,
I guess it is.
what happens
And then-
once I've cast comprehend languages?
Oh my god.
nothing changes, but you can now read.
You can now
the
read
ones
all
that
of
you
them.
couldn't understand in the
Oh, it's like
previous
when
What
it
does
episode.
cycles through.
say?
So you didn't roll particularly well on your history check, right?
17.
17. Okay. So, but you can read the ones that you can read.
Yeah.
So they say, "Welcome, wave bringers. Press to synchronize."
What's a wave bringer?
I don't know.
It's interesting that's translated in 4 languages, 5 languages that I
Oh
can
no.
read.
And you're now all in the room.
Vaxis
Yeah.
presses the button to synchronise.
Why? I took my eyes off him for a second. A second.
Even I was feeling the pull of the great id.
Oh, you just hear it. Oops. He's just there with his hand.
Does he say?
synchronised.
No, he doesn't say oops.
He does.
So, but yes, we're all in the room.
Sweet. The outer door closes. The text disappears and is replaced by it's a mirror. It's showing an image, reverse image of what the desk can see of you for.
What
I-
desk?
Almost like it's a webcam.
Yeah. I wave to see if it's in real time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
okay.
is.
It's
Hello.
a mirror.
Vaxis tries to figure out where the camera is, essentially.
It is slightly above the light panel. The image flashes. Roll me a perception check.
Oh
You
man,
can beat a 20.
I did not.
I did not.
Natural 1!
6 plus 4 plus 16,
Ooh,
26.
wait. I might be able to beat 20. Hold on.
And also because I got a modifier of 0 on this, it's just 1. If this is going to be our profile photos, then it's just Vaxis going.
20. Exactly.
So you will spot this, but as you rolled the highest,
Mm.
pick person, clothing, item.
No, not again.
You need to disable that.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it more now.
Is it plugged in?
Clothing.
So the image is exactly the same, except you are
It
wearing
was
something
plugged in, it
different.
wasn't turned, cloak wasn't turned on.
Except I'm wearing something different.
Mhm.
What am I wearing?
So, I'm not familiar with the dresses that you're.
So I am dressed like a sort of 18th century golden age of sail ship's doctor, like long coat, lace ruff at the neck and cuffs.
He looks more like a pirate than I do.
Do you have a rank on your?
No, because I'm a doctor and I'm a sort of medical. Do I still look like a doctor?
Yes, you still look a doctor.
Okay,
But
but
you're
I'm
wearing.
going for like a burgundy rather
Less-
than like
less
a bottle
formal.
blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so different colour and slightly different style.
Do we all see this?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's most.
But
curious.
you'll see it. But he's the one. You two are the ones that spot it because you've all hidden it in
Yeah,
perception.
You're
I,
not.
I sort of pat down my
That's
clothes and
you're like.
does the image do it as well? If I like tug at the ruffs on my collar, on the cuffs, the lace at the cuffs, does the image also tug at something invisible?
I said I wouldn't need dice today.
I love that you've got the little pouch that you're going in for. Like,
No, it does not.
what does it do instead?
It'll just continue to go, but not specifically to your pouch.
You're not. That's not you, or at least not this you.
Flash. Roll me a perception check, everyone.
Oh, okay. I have a theory, and I'm glad.
24.
21.
You're in my house now. These are the right checks to get me to roll.
Person, clothing, item.
22 for me.
Do I get sense that Ido is being asked this? Or
No,
is this
no. I'm asking you the
Amazon?
player.
Oh, in that case, person.
This time, Rune is no longer there. And
Is no longer there.
He has been replaced by another person.
Who is the person?
Do we know? Do we recognise them?
Which character is Rich gonna trot out?
Ooh.
Would you like to describe your alternative character?
Oh.
Yes.
I was expecting Rich to start describing in esoteric terms, like Tal or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There is a gruff-looking. Are they actively doing something, or is it just literally a portrait description of them, kind of
It
thing?
is a live video feed of what the camera sees, except that Rune isn't in this one. But everyone else in the video is doing is mirroring the actions of the people in the room.
Okay, so it's a gruff-looking hippo person. I can't remember the
GIF.
GIF.
Yes.
GIF.
And a fun, not a fun.
Yeah. It's not a GIF. It's a GIF.
You're correct.
And wars have been fought over that. Anyway, yeah. So
Killed less.
I
they're
speak Jif Yankee.
yeah, they're massive. There's kind of like stained overalls, like oil stained, not blood stained. And they're carrying something that looks to be quite heavy and like a shipbreaker part, like a part for a boat, kind of under their arm. But their eyes look tired.
That's not me.
No.
Well, it could be.
When I say, okay,
Image changes.
when like Rune said that's not me, and I went no. Did the GIF and the Ido in that image say those things as well?
Yes.
And after the flash?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, that's not so good this time.
I might be with a chance.
16.
Ooh,
Yeah,
19.
you're all right.
Yeah.
You're all
8.
Ah, and that one.
19.
Need a 20.
Ah, I thought it was just who was highest.
Flash.
I need a nat 20.
Flash. 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 The images are now continuously swapping in and out.
Doing?
Anyone who rolled a 20 on any of the previous checks will notice the differences. Sometimes it's a different person, sometimes it's different items, carrying different items, sometimes it's different people, yeah.
Oh, I'm missing an arm in that one. That's not good.
Are there
Flash,
versions
flash,
flashing up where
flash,
Ido
flash,
isn't in a
flash.
chair?
Yes.
Interesting.
Flash, 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 flash. Are you saying anything?
What is
Flash,
happening? It looks like...
What is happening? What's going on? And now, I can't do your accents. I
That's
can't
fair.
do... I am not an AI with the knowledge this AI has.
Just tell
so
us
you
things to
can't.
start
No,
saying.
but specifically, I don't know what you're going to say.
Right,
This
but-
does.
Okay.
So you can't tell whether you said it first
Or it did.
or it.
This
did.
is a fucking Doctor Who episode on
I was
midnight.
just thinking that. Yeah.
Flash, 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 flash,
Well,
flash,
I must
flash,
say
flash,
that
flash,
really
flash,
Is
flash,
is
flash,
it
flash,
speeding up, or
Yes.
is it?
flash, 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 flash,
Is
flash,
it trying to
flash,
match
flash,
us or
flash,
something?
flash, flash.
Oh, it's synchronizing. It's synchronizing our time,
Is it sort of
our reality. Like
crushing timelines together or something?
We're trying to
You said
figure
you
out-
were a bit unsure of timelines.
I'm a bit
Is that
unsure
which one you're in, or where you are in your own?
where I am in my own.
Rich.
That
Just in case it's helpful.
Maybe it's trying to figure out which one we're in.
Okay.
It's already going too fast for me to do my idea, so...
And stop. The images disappear. The text says calibrated. Iteration 493653 confirmed. Variance 0.01%. And then 8 portraits appear on the screen.
Of?
4 of them are you 4.
Yeah.
One of them is a certain GIF.
Yep. Sorry.
You, the characters, do not recognise the other 3.
Mm.
You, the players, recognise one of them as Delwyn.
Ooh. Oh. And as a player, would we also recognise your poor person who got lost in the Feywild? Fenwick.
As players, the only one you recognise.
Okay.
What do the other 2 look like?
There is a goblin.
Yeah.
And there is a character who is almost entirely in shadow. You get like a silhouette, like you know, like if you're wearing a cloak and like a little peak of light, you see like a nose and an eye, but you don't really get much profile.
What kind of flesh is behind it? Is it insectile or humanoid?
Human. And then next to each portrait, there is a single word.
Ooh.
Quiescent, Stokast, Proband, Initiate. Next to your other character, Reconcile. Next to Delwyn, Labile. And then a Thotic and a Septic.
Could you send those words to the chat, if you wouldn't mind? Because they were some... And do not get me wrong, top fucking quality words.
Top quality nonsense.
Not necessarily, just because we can't put it together.
Let me delete the bit after the word as well.
Free trial.
All I caught was initiate and probiotic. Oh, it wasn't probiotic.
No, you're not probiotic.
No, it's proband.
Proband Stokast.
And with that, the 2 doors open.
If I pull out a little... so Thieves' Tools, one of the things they contain is a mirror on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
If I just reach the mirror through and look in,
Mm-hmm.
does it look like both these doors go into the same room?
Yes.
Is it... So, are the portraits now fixed so they
They're
don't...
now like pictures. So from one of the images that you saw initially, it's like they've taken a screen grab of them.
Gotcha, okay, yeah. Fine, fair enough. Interesting.
Is the portrait got Vactus' Gorma's face on it as he's looking up at the camera?
Sure.
Okay. And Vactus go,
I guess. Can I move to one of the doors and look through? I don't have to.
I will follow behind. I'm not entering the room, but
the other door.
I'll follow you to... Oh, okay. Ooh.
There's more of this
there's
place.
one mouse.
Okay,
I'll let Rich move them.
well,
Who's going to the doors?
So,
Runis as well. Runis going to the other
Same
door.
door?
Other door.
Vactus will go to the other door soon.
and then Jex will follow...
Could I roll a perception check to see if I can see any other creatures in here?
Mhm.
Or any other signs of life, that kind of thing? Guidance?
Ooh,
That's
tasty.
17.
Hold on, I rolled a 19 on the dice, so that's probably going to be quite tasty.
10.
27.
The only motion that you notice is the machinery of the room. There is a display right in the centre of the room that is moving. Some screens that are flickering, nothing else. No sign of life.
So this machinery, presumably this is like nothing we've ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
This is truly alien.
This knows who we are.
What did you roll on your perception?
27.
Right.
Yes.
Everyone roll me an insight. You do so at advantage.
Ooh.
Rather more concerningly, it knows what. Insight, yeah.
Yeah, I guess also next to the single words, maybe you get like your true name, your species name, your age.
25 on insight.
14 for me.
13.
Insight.
Wait, So it'll say, what, does that include titles with the name there? So will it say Prince Artorius of Axis?
Doctor, it better bloody say
Well, we'll say
Doctor
that for
Adolamantis
you.
James.
Say for you.
Prince Artorius of Axis, Prince of the Kingdom of Rune? Or Prince Artorius of Axis of the Kingdom of Rune? Or King Victorious? Artorius of Axis.
Victorious is a great name.
Yeah? That was the name of my father.
To
Victorious.
clarify, your parents were killed on
By poison, yeah.
on that night.
As far as I'm aware, unless he changed something.
No, so you're definitely still Prince then.
Is this related to when you asked us what our true name would be?
Mm-hmm.
And I said my true name would include the word doctor.
Yes.
Good. I'm very glad. Oh. Is that machinery in the middle, or is that a hole? Like
It is-
going down?
It is machinery. So, you are greeted by a spacious chamber that stretches out before you. A couple of doors line the side walls, both closed. In the heart of the room, a metal box sits, beams of orange light emanating from the top, which casts an ethereal image of a solar system. More glyphs rotate around the outside of this image. At the front, a transparent glass wall separates you from another terminal beyond the darkened room. The door is closed.
Do we recognise the solar system?
Roll me history. It's not very high. Let's see how I
25.
You need a 10.
Oh, 15,
18. Yeah.
It's the Toral system.
Just all the checks you're asking for are just lovely checks. Can I compliment you on your choice of checks today, sir?
I'll cautiously step into the room.
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
My casting to detect magic is going to have been so interrupted at this point, it's not even worth carrying on, so I will restart my adjustment.
Perhaps we should wait until you finish then.
Oh, well, welcome to. Please,
Yeah.
have some tea.
Sorry, apologies. Before you try and go into the room, the light
Ba-jam.
turns right, closes.
But only Vaxis.
Only Vaxis is
Vex
time.
tries to walk through.
Do both doors close or just the
Just the
one?
one he's at.
And
Okay, what happens if I... Okay, can someone hold this for a second? Can I just pop it on there? Let me strap it to your wheelchair.
It's not
No.
going to help.
Okay,
No.
Just hurry.
and I try to walk through the other door.
You walk through absolutely fine.
Okay, I come back and I grab the sword,
Mm-hmm.
and I try
But
to
it was
walk
the
through the
first
door.
time.
Closes.
It's the right-hand door that's causing the problem.
No.
No,
no,
both,
no,
both
no,
doors
no,
have now
no.
arrowed.
it doesn't.
And
let
if I
the
try and
sword-
go through the same door again with the sword, has it
Once
fixed itself?
you've pressed the button again, once it closes and you press it to open it back up, you can.
So
go
the
through
first
doors.
time the sword tries to go through each door,
Mhm.
it's causing any error.
Mhm.
It might be worth someone else holding the sword when we go through the next door then.
Can I go back and look at the portraits?
Mhm.
And in Max's portrait, is the sword in the portrait?
So it is a picture of him front on. So you will see on the back hilt is a sword.
Do
You
you-
can't tell from the picture whether it ends in a
Rock.
rock or not.
Okay.
I have a wild theory that I hope is true. Is that sword sentient, and it is because it is detecting two creatures when he's trying to go through the door? That's a question for these guys, obviously not for the DM, because you can't tell me that.
If it saw it as a separate creature, surely it would get its own portrait.
Maybe.
There was one person in shadow.
Yeah, and it
that.
could be the essence of the sword is that.
Or the goblin could be the essence of the sword.
I really hope it's that one. and that goblin's name, Mind Goblin.
But yeah, it's just a mind. It's a goblin that is just a mind.
So, did you say there was another control panel in here? Or
So in the around the center of the room, you've got this holographic image of a solar system. There are buttons underneath it.
That will change the solar
I can
system.
try just lobbing the sword through
No.
another door.
no? Can I try?
Toss it to someone on the side.
So
Other buttons labelled at all?
So you have a row of 5 buttons. The second button is lit, above which, in holographic terms, is the text Celestial Station 2, the prophecy.
I'm wondering if
Can we turn on the other beacons, maybe?
Can I attempt to attune to it in the same way that we attune to the Spelljammer helm?
No, you cannot. It also has, other text next to it. So that's Station 2, the Prophecy. Location, System 2. Status, Operational, Candidate Selection.
I would like to touch the machine and cast Identify.
Mm-hmm.
I will hand out
And this is where
tea.
you have a stroke.
I will hand a bottle of tea to anyone who wants it for them to keep themselves occupied during the casting process. But yeah.
It's not doing squats.
I look at the map of Toril and see if there's anything strange or unusual about it, or anything that catches my eye.
It's occurred to me that Vax's idle animation just starts doing squats.
So I have an idea,
Yeah.
but I want you to tell me what would happen if I cast Identify on the tablet in Western Wilds that had Minecraft on it. What would you get back?
Oh, it would. Hang on. I can tell you exactly what it would say.
Because we did that.
No, because I'm just going to Google the Wikipedia page for iPad. I mean, it's a formality now, but yeah. A tablet-based computer. Actually, for tablet computer, a mobile device, typically with a mobile operating system and touchscreen display processing circuitry, and a rechargeable battery in a single thin and flat package.
Would the spell tell you what was on it? Would it tell you that Minecraft was on it?
No.
So then you get back a
Computer.
holographic
Computer
display designed to present visual information.
Yeah. Right.
Is there like an input panel? Like you can
There is a row of 5 buttons. The second button is highlighted above, which is the text / Station 2, the Prophecy, and the status.
Push
Oh, okay.
Push the top button.
Push the one that's marked Station 2.
They're not marked. The only one that's marked is the one that says.
Is the one
Station
that's
Oh,
lit.
right.
Okay.
Because that's showing
So it's like
Station 2.
Blank lights off. Station 2 lit up. Blank lights off. Blank lights off. Blank lights off.
Mhm.
What happened if we click one of the blank ones, say the first one?
How many buttons are there?
5.
Yeah, what happens if I push button 1?
I push button 1.
Push button 1.
Push
The
button 1.
image
Yeah.
fades away of that system.
Mhm.
A new image appears. It is an entirely different solar system. And the words you get are Celestial Station 1, the Astrolabe, System 1, Operational, Receiving Probe Telemetry.
And 3, 4, and 5?
Celestial Station 3, again, completely different solar system. Location, System 4. Status, Dormant, Operations Complete.
Do we say what was the text for System 3 again?
Can we have the Celestial Station names as well?
Oh, you're already doing the same thing, I
Okay.
How about I will put, as I say each one, I will put them into the chat.
That would be super.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's got Astrolabe, Prophecy. I missed
So
that.
I missed the third one as well.
Receiving probe.
Redacting as I.
Frantic redaction.
Ooh.
Ooh, the beans.
The workshop.
Workshop.
See the asteroid.
Interesting that Station 3 is in System 4.
Nothing's in System 3.
The only thing you know, in terms of systems, the only thing that you know is that System 2 refers to Toril. That the Toril was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celestial Station 4, the Confinement. Location, System 19. Status, minimal damage, defenses engaging.
Oh no.
Oh my.
That sounds
I
bad.
haven't shared that with you. What a beautiful accidental meeting of minds!
It's a good thing I wasn't taking a drink then, because that would have been a full spit take.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
concerned.
And as you press the 5th button, the solar system of the previous one fades away, and you get like glitching artifacts. Sometimes you get an image of a space station. You don't get anything of the surrounding system.
That doesn't look like it's a good thing.
Celestial Station 5, the Watchtower. Location unknown. Status operational. Divine Genesis in progress.
Boy, howdy!
And this is stuff that you've not fed Rich. So you're just super excited now.
I refer you to my previous notes.
Divine. What does that mean?
Say no more, say no more.
And that's all
Oh,
fine.
It's not like
So,
Couldn't find them. It's such an interesting fucking word.
so was it also showing? Because you said we got a picture of a space station.
Mm-hmm. For all of the others, you got a full solar system.
I'm more interested specifically about the ship or station that's there. Do they all look the same?
No, they all look different.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So the astrolabe looks like, imagine like the classic 80s sci-fi station. The ones that like rotate to match gravity. So this one is just
The ones that
ship.
provide rotational gravity through
gravity.
centrifugal force.
Yeah.
Rather, yeah.
So one of those.
The Martian, for one.
Yes, yeah,
Ooh.
but much bigger.
Yeah.
The prophecy is almost like a ship, which is the one that you're at now. The workshop is an interesting one. It shows the solar system at first, zooms down to a planet. Imagine the planet was like one of those Kinder Egg toys, and basically you've cracked it in half. So there's basically a planet
Cross-section?
or not a cross section. It's like the planet itself is in two pieces, with a almost like a straight line through the middle, and the station is located in that gap. The station 4.
It's a prison ship, isn't it?
No. Roll me a history or insight.
Definitely history. Nope.
Let's go insight.
Single digits.
27.
Ido is approaching this with a very cool intellectual eye. I, as a player, am basically vibrating apart from the inside.
21 for insight for me.
I told you you'd be testing my law document today.
You've said so many words that mean so much.
Lots of proper nouns today.
24.
So
You got higher, so
I'm just enjoying the sheer glee on Joe's face.
that's good.
a
And
prison
responding.
ship would be designed to contain something on the inside. This thing looks like it has active defences, active guns that are pointed at something. What that something is, you can't tell from
That's a
the
lot of
image.
weapons.
Sorry, I've given up on making facial expressions in character.
Can we tell if it's a one something or a lots of something? Or
You've that
Like,
many
are the
guns,
defences
it's a lot
pointed
of
at
something.
a single point or a spread?
You cannot tell from this image.
okay.
It's in the same direction. You can't tell if they're aiming at something that's big, and so the guns are slightly further away.
Do these look like live images or like the stock photos of these places?
Schematics or...
There you go, schematics.
1, 2, 3, and 4 look like almost live images. Number 5, it was glitching, so
You can't
tell.
see anyway.
Number 5 looks like the classic Deep Space Nine, so like the single thing in the middle coming out, and it's almost like a galaxy effectively as a space station. That sort of shape.
Will you allow me to ask a
Oh.
meta question for my player benefit as opposed
Sure.
to my character benefit?
I might not answer, but you can certainly ask the question.
So if we were to go back to System 1 and zoom Does it allow us to zoom in on planets and do
That's the
any
old
of the?
efficient days,
Okay.
whatever it's called.
Oh god, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, no way to tell if System 1 was
I'll move that away for you,
like
lucky.
her system for the different worlds.
I can guarantee you it fucking isn't.
Roll. Hang on. I does. What, am I seeing if the Academy knows about something? 1 second.
Just
Having a good time over there, Joe.
boy, howdy. I know there's so much that I haven't told Rich that Rich has accidentally alluded to in this session.
Or Rich the Smart Cookie, you could have figured it all out.
I haven't loaded it into Foundry, but that is the one that.
Doom space.
That is the one that the confinement is in.
Ooh.
Is that a black hole at the centre?
You can't tell from this image. Let's roll. Roll me a history check. You're going to need a 25.
Okay, well, no.
Had to come to an end eventually.
Or on that 20.
Or on that 20,
If,
okay,
you can't,
cool.
if you can't get to it.
No,
No.
16 is.
It is conceivable that people in the system know about this one. It is an official campaign system, but you have not heard it as characters.
It looks really bad.
Oh, it's like a what's the official one? Like it's a what was
Yeah.
the Coast official one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat. Okay.
It looks
Maybe
really
it's,
bad.
maybe it's from the campaign that we've not started yet.
Maybe.
Wonderful name, though. Terrifying, wonderful name.
Well, flicking
I'm
through
slightly
these things-
frustrated that the official player version of the campaign map still has all these boxes all over it rather than show the pretty art behind it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Why switching these things doesn't really tell us anything where these pops came from or anything. We need to go deeper or get this
I
machine to
agree.
do something else.
I think what Ido would do is if he has time in this place, if we decide to spend like a long rest here, for example, I'll just be going and poking every bit of equipment, identifying it for function. But obviously that's not like a now thing.
True.
Like if we do end up doing that, I will have done that, and yeah.
Why did I took my eyes off him again?
are you
Okay.
carrying the sword?
I'm not walking through it. I press the button to open the door.
But you're holding the sword.
The sword is on my back, yes.
Doesn't even open.
Doesn't even open. In that case, I will...
You have not attempted to open the door in this place
Let me
yet.
hold
Everyone
the
else has opened
sword.
doors for you so
Okay,
far.
I give the sword to Ido,
Mhm.
and then I try to press the button, and it opens.
And then if I try and roll through,
If you're carrying the glitch and close again.
doesn't like the sword, bud.
No.
You roll me a perception check, please, Vexus. Sorry, you.
15.
You noticed that when you were stood close to the holographic projector, it didn't turn off, but it was like slightly glitching a little bit.
Oh, so if we go back to
Like
station 5
interference.
and I'm stood back from it, is it any clearer?
A tiny bit clearer. But
Okay.
It's less that the image is being distorted and more like signal loss as it's sort of turning on off a little bit.
Okay. Oh, I've got an idea then. Ido,
Yes. Yes.
do you want to give me back the sword now?
I do. It's very heavy.
Thank you. And do you want to go and open that door?
I will. Yes,
And then,
I'll
then
go.
roll through, and then I'll throw the sword through to you. To your feet.
Don't miss.
I will take the dodge action.
Don't miss.
So he's going to try and just yeet the sword through.
You're opening the door on the left.
Yeah, get Ida to open that door while not
I
on the
will
sword.
check to see if there's nothing going to eat me in there before I go through.
Roll my perception check.
I will.
Can I peer in there
21.
because it looks like there's.
Are you rolling?
I couldn't beat
Okay.
21. So.
You spot 3 droids.
Chaps, I've got robots.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
With that roll, they are not active.
No.
They are sitting
No, I
on
must
base
disagree.
stations.
They're not active yet.
There.
Okay, whatever you
Do they look of the same construction as those probes?
Mhm.
Yeah, so they're all of the same like technological background.
Yep.
Yes, robots, chaps, deactivated, but thought I'd let you know.
Alright.
Do we think they'll activate if I walk near them with this sword?
I wouldn't.
I think err on the side of caution for now.
Did you end up throwing the sword? So you looked in, and did that cancel out you throwing the sword?
Yes.
Yeah, so before he yeeted a sword at me while I'm already possibly in a room full of enemies, just have a quick scan around the environment.
You're peering into that room.
Can I step into that room?
I also would like to do that.
The one with the probes.
droids?
The droids.
Droid.
Yeah.
That one there then.
I will also cast Shillelagh on my cane.
Sure.
Numerous circular stands are dispersed throughout the room, each housing spherical robots similar to those that you've encountered before. The room hums with a gentle energy as these dormant machines appear to be drawing power. At the heart of the room, a large circular ring is embedded in the floor, similar to the flower petal pattern that you saw on the exterior. There is a monitor on the wall facing back into the other room.
What does the monitor say?
It appears to show a list of log entries.
Yeah.
33, destruction of the flying foundling. 38, orbital decay of beholder vessel. 45, termination of Ido. 60, contact with DC-04.
I'm sorry, what?
Termination of Ido.
Oh, I just wanted to double check, you know. Quarks, chaps. Right, what were the events there? 33.
Thought pasting.
Destruction of flying foundling. So that was possibly the probe.
Sorry, that is IDO. That's all caps. It's not necessarily.
Sorry, that
Should that be?
It should be- should be
It should be my name.
Should be
Okay, that's a. Gosh, isn't that a shame?
And is it his full name, Dr. Idolamantis James, or is it just the nickname Ido?
it would refer to you as your full name.
Dr. James.
Yeah.
Termination.
I don't.
And I believe the last one that you encountered was 37? It's mid-30s is what I remember.
Oh, the probe.
Mm-hmm.
Termination of Ido.
Oh, that's a nat 20 for a 24 on a medicine check. Is Ido?
A-okay.
I don't got body snatched.
I don't think that's what that means.
Is there a button on this one?
Flying foundling.
That is the ship that you had for the... I believe it was the fishing expedition.
Okay, so can we track days? Joe's brain is a shit. Can Ido, with his nearly +4 intelligence, do an intelligence check to work out if the flying foundling was the fish one, the orbital decay of the beholder vessel, which we realised was the
The vessel that we're in.
No, wait, the
Stone-
flying foundling is the one you're on. Not the bolt, is the one that you took to get to the... It's the fishing one and the one you took to get to the beholder ship.
The beholder ship, the decay started on the... that was why we went to the thing, was that right? Because it was decaying orbit?
Mm-hmm.
If I roll an intelligence check for a great many, because I got a nat 20 on the d20, can I work out, is termination of Ido in the past, if those are days? Because we spent 16 days
Yeah,
on the ship here.
as long as they're days. As long as they're Toral days.
They are not days.
They're not
I'll give you
days.
that.
Okay. What did the numbers on the probes we've already encountered?
I think it was... I'm not going to go search. I believe it was 36 and 37. Something like that.
Are these tasks for the different probes to do?
That's what I'm leaning towards.
That's what I was thinking.
No. Why does it want
Why does it want me dead? What did I ever do wrong?
Yeah, because it was...
Was I the first person to shoot it?
No.
That
Max
was,
was.
Yeah.
You know what? I will give you one more.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so happy you do. And does DC-04 ring a bell?
No.
I would imagine... I don't... something candidate.
What the fuck is the Amanthine Sea?
The lake that you were fishing at.
Oh.
Collapse of things.
Is this the end of the universe?
Are these just events in sequence then?
Yeah, you can
But-
infer that.
How far away is DCO4? That's not a question, that's just the
There is
way-
no way to tell from this information at
Yeah.
any unit of time.
Maybe it's not
Divine-
even units of time, maybe it's just an order.
Or as I was saying, yeah, just events in sequence rather than...
Divine Contact 04.
Is there any way to pull up the missing ones? Can we interact with the screen at all? Is it touch screen?
No, it's not.
And do
Roll me an
you-
investigation check.
Can I
Do,
just
I guess more importantly, do you approach any of the...
Do the probes have numbers on them?
They do.
can
Can we see what numbers they are from here?
Yes. No, you have to get closer.
I'll
can
investigate.
Rune just like she's trying to connect to somebody else? She
18.
throws like one of the red threads of fate out towards the computer and just lets it worm its way in and see if it will show her something else. You've guided me so far. Let's see
I'll
what
give you
happens.
one more.
21 on
Ooh.
investigation for interacting with the touch screen.
18 to look at the probes and the numbers.
The numbers are 38, 45, and 60.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm in the room with it!
Stay away from the one labeled 45.
But is it trying to do these things, or is it trying to prevent them?
Prevent them. Which one you
By
fuck is
weaving
this coming
fate, you
from?
get that one.
Oh.
Yes, look, termination of access by beholder. So that's something that hasn't happened.
And for recapping, 36, I believe, is the one that was a satellite that you recovered,
Yeah.
and we got the coordinates from, and 37 was the corrupted one you found in the beholder ship.
But it's a termination of access by beholder, so it's not even
Those-
by these things.
That probe is part of the force that killed all the beholders. If we'd have gotten there without the probes being there, Vaxis might have died.
Died
from-
by the beholders.
So
What
is it attempting to
doing?
stop these things then?
all of them? Contact
Probe
with
45 is
DC0.
But
going
the-
to
the
prevent
one
your
that was-
termination.
Destruction of the Flying Foundling. That was...
The
When
flying
did
found-
that happen?
No, it hasn't.
It
yet.
didn't
It
happen.
didn't
It
happen.
hasn't yet. None of
Was
these.
it? Was there an explosive on that? Did Mickens some of Mickens'
If we are the
explosive
ones
go
in
on
the
that ship?
portraits in this version, is it then trying to affect... The versions of the probes in this ship now
Are trying to
are
make
trying
us-
to influence specific events related to us.
So
That makes me feel better than just that it would be always being Ido.
so that probe there is your best friend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there
I
to
love you,
prevent
bro.
your So looking at the room, the big circular thing, does that look like it launches probes out into space? Is it?
Yeah, you can infer
Torpedo
that.
tube.
Yeah,
Divine.
it matches
Look,
the...
it-
Tile.
Is it probe sized kind of thing?
It's,
like,
like, it is
contact.
definitely probe-sized. It looks like an iron
I
store.
don't think that one's very
So
good.
we
And-
found 36 inside the Amanthine Sea, did we?
Yeah, the
Yes.
36 was the one that was a satellite that you reeled in, got the coordinates from.
what
Did the
was
sea then collapse?
No.
After you
After we left and
depowered
took
it.
the satellite away?
Because you hooked it, and the dice that you rolled, you took off the panels, immediately deactivated, and the thing collapsed, and the hole collapsed.
so? What was the one that was
Is-
searching within the beholder vessel? Was that
That's
37?
37.
37, which
So-
prevented the access from dying.
But
to
then
the
it was
beholder.
looking for something after that, but we don't know if that's because it was corrupted.
Could
Could I
have maybe
cast
been waiting
identify on the probe bearing my name?
Sure.
What does it come up with?
It would describe a autonomous probe that has the capacity to interact with its environment via mechanical arms, and it says. I'll give you this. It says it is also a container for destiny. No, for prophecy.
The probe that you're talking, the one on the beholder ship, if it was part of the party that destroyed the beholders that were there and got corrupted in the fight,
It's a container for prophecy. So these aren't things that it's trying to achieve. It is simply
the
prophecy it holds.
The prediction it has.
And possibly what it's trying to stop from happening.
You ever play Fallout 4?
Um,
You play Fallout 4?
Yeah.
PAM, in the railroad headquarters, the predictive analytic machine, the Assaultron, who's supposed to predict the future for the CIA.
Yeah.
I'm imagining you know the Voyager episode where they encounter the time ship where he keeps trying
roll
to
me an
change
intelligence check.
Ooh.
DC 15.
where he keeps trying to change little things to prevent his wife's death. I'm imagining it's like that. They're each trying to tweak.
I've got 12 right now, so I need to get 3 on this dice.
What is wrong with I forget
3.
my... Ooh, nice.
I will remind you what I sent to you in a secret message a while back.
Ooh, baby.
My investigation of the screens, remind me, did that do anything? My investigation of the screens, did that do anything?
Sorry, I missed it. What did you try and do?
I was trying to see if I can pull up more entries or interact with it.
There is no way of interacting with
Okay,
the scene. The only
No, that's
thing
fine.
that did anything was when Rune reached out with his
Oh, okay.
essence. That gave you one more entry.
There was a thing you pulled out of the probe.
What was pulled out?
It was
pulled out?
There was
an
something
item.
in there, and then it just flitted away, right?
No, I saw it. It was something you got, some little thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was.
only you could see it because it was a prophecy, and you've got the whole destiny thing going on.
I believe it was that.
It was your boots.
My boots? Well,
You've always had those boots,
I've
haven't
always
you?
had those boots. I didn't pull them out.
No, you haven't.
No, because
I mentioned it to you. I said, why were you concealing things? And you looked at me like I was crazy.
because I'm not concealing anything.
You pulled those boots out of the probe.
No.
I watched you do it.
I promise you, I haven't.
The word next to my name means unpredictable. Untouched by fate or...
Stochasticity, chaos,
Yes.
disorder.
Am I slightly outside of things because... And that's why I can see
Yes,
weird
this is
things.
The questioner.
So, do you believe me when I say that I did not pull them out of the machine? Because I believe you when you say that I did.
I don't know. Maybe one version of you didn't.
And you can see the other version. I need you to know that you've essentially created heroin for me. You need to know that.
So,
Can we just take a moment to, while he's not in the room, call Rich a wonderful bastard?
Oh,
It's a good moment.
oh.
The sheer dopamine is flooding Joe right now.
Okay. I need you to, when you listen back to, if you ever listen back to this episode,
I will do next
after the end of Western Wilds,
no,
you are going to be feeling the same emotions I am.
Like,
Is that because Western Wilds ends in space?
No. No, it's not.
that's unrelated.
Unrelated. It's definitely going to happen though.
I need to go back and review what information I gave Rich as well, just in case. I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I didn't.
Well, maybe it's just like a maths equation, or a machine that you put certain information in and it's reached the same conclusions.
Yeah, well.
so I've always had these boots. Can I
But
think?
you haven't.
Can I? Is there something that I can do to try and think back, to try and remember when I obtained these boots?
You got them from the probe. That's where you pulled them out from.
Like, I remember that Mike's character had the boots before that probe, don't I?
Yes.
As do I.
Yep.
Jacker's boots. Classic Jacks. Wearing boots all the time. Making feet.
Let
Putting
me-
boots in them.
Let
Yeah,
me ask you
I
I
something.
can't remember the exact law that you gave. I think you said you got it at the academy. I can't remember for sure. But when I gave you the list
Is
and
there
said pick one and tell me
anything-
where you got it, you thought, no, I got this at the academy.
Is
That
there
was-
anything else that you've noticed people having?
No, I don't think so. That's the only one that I remember.
That was the first time you saw one since succeeding a wisdom saving throw that you didn't rolled.
I'm the only one rolling them.
You're not. You all rolled them in the session.
Oh, do I? Okay.
You're the only one who succeeded.
Oh fuck. that is both fortuitous for you
Yeah.
and amazing. And amazing.
Is there any way I can see of interacting with the one that says termination of Ido? Is there any like a control panel, or aside from cracking it
Can
open
I-
like we did last time, a
Sometimes.
readout or?
Go ahead.
No, that's it. Yeah.
No.
Cool.
So
Roll me an investigation. I'll
Can
allow
I
you.
sometimes when you
suggestion?
succeed
Yes.
on things like wisdom saving throws, you know you succeeded.
Can I?
Is it one of those
suggest
cases
that
where I can
you
kind of see
look
like
at cracking
see the
open
threads?
one that isn't marked?
Oh no, I'm not going to crack any of them open.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe check to see if any of them have actually
there
been
we
used before, have been out and like this is Vax shouting in through the doorway.
Highs or lows?
highs.
You know
I
that
got this
whatever allowed you to see that came from the probe.
24.
Oh, it came from the probe.
24 on investigation. You don't have to batter it open. You can see some screws are not the right. Similar to screws, you can see points where you can, like a little mechanical movement here, a little mechanical movement there. You could probably get it open without breaking it.
What are the numbers on the other probes?
They're the numbers for.
There are only 4 in there, and those are the
There are
first 4.
three. There are 3 in there.
Oh,
There are 3 in there, so which one isn't represented?
33.
3 distortions, fire and planning. So the ones we've got are orbital decay of beholder vessel, termination of Ido, and contact with ECO4. Orbital decay of beholder vessel has happened. Is that right?
No.
That was the
No.
event that
No,
caused us to go and seek the beholder ship.
No,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
that was
not to our knowledge, because it's not suffered from orbital decay.
Can I just have a peek out the window and make sure our ship isn't orbital decaying?
No, no, you cannot because
Because there are no windows. Yeah, no.
But maybe that's
Vax
the
is
thing.
going to shout through the doorway. Check to see if any of them have, got any scuffs or anything like they've already been used.
They are pristine.
Do you know the image in my head right now?
Mhm.
Remember Doctor Who episode Doomsday?
Mm-hmm.
Last episode featuring Rose Tyler, or it might have been the one immediately before that, where the Genesis arc opens and starts spewing Daleks all out.
Yes.
And Mickey accidentally touches it and leaves a handprint on it that glows, and that's why I don't want to touch this orb.
The reason I can tell that his boots are, I think it came from the probe. It's not me, it's something in the probe itself. And you said they're containers of destiny?
Prophecy.
Well then, they might be immune to it.
Before we crack any of them open, should we keep exploring this facility in case
Yes.
we find out more information?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't crack any of them open until we.
Until we're certain we should.
I don't want to open something that contains prophecy.
I don't want to contain something that says termination of Ido on
Yes,
it.
but we don't know if
No.
it's designed to stop or make that happen.
I'm just concerned.
Either way.
I'm just concerned that apparently the one that says termination of Vax's by beholder has already been opened.
Which was that the one?
That was the one that had the crystal
this
in it.
crystal spike through it.
Yes.
Well, yes, but we believe that those robots killed all the beholders. So
Yeah, but we're going to a place with a lot of beholders.
Yes.
true. Let's continue.
Let's have a little look around the rest of the
Yes.
place.
Let's
shall we?
head to the other room. What's in that?
Okay,
room?
Vax's isn't the one going in there, but he's closest, so
Yeah,
I'm
just
going
leave
to
him as
move
token.
his token in, but he's staying out. He's going to stay in the central room because I don't want to bring the sword near anything delicate.
Why is this fucking sword affecting it?
Because it's a sword
Because
of
it's
prophecy.
destined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And possibly
Oh, like holding two magnets.
that's
like-
right. It's interfering with the probability manipulation that this thing is doing.
From the exterior of the look of the exterior, does it look like this is the whole space station?
Yes.
What's in this room? Rich?
So, one thing I will say is that I in my head, designed this map a few times. Don't pay much attention to the outer shape of this thing.
That's okay. Just I'm curious as to. But this looks like it's the whole facility.
There is another door back there, right?
Yes.
Oh, there is. Okay.
So that one is a glass wall with a glass door in it, which is currently closed, leading into a darkened room.
Well, we'll look at this room and then we'll check that one out.
Your attention is immediately drawn to 4 chairs back to back, floating gracefully above the ground. A digital panel adorns each armrest, displaying intricate controls and symbols. Cables snake along the floor to various data banks along the outer walls. Behind the chairs, a wall-mounted dome glows softly. A panel along the wall displays the text, "Reflection. Please sit."
Oh, I'm sitting in that bad boy.
Yeah, it wants us to sit because we're part of the candidate selection.
We need Vexus if we're going to do this anyways, and I feel
Can
like we
you-
Let's
are
go
at this
get
point.
that. Vexus, be a dear, come here, would you?
Leave the sword out
leave
there.
your sword in there, and then we'll.
If the
I don't want to.
where he was able to bring the sword through the second time, is that still true with this room?
Mhm.
So if he goes and then shuts him out, and then he
Well,
comes
it's already
back,
done.
It's already
done
done
that.
that. That's why you wanted to throw it.
but he
to
can then move into this one afterwards.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think bring the
Okay,
sword.
yeah.
Right, sit down in the chair.
Shift across.
So you're all sitting in the chairs?
I've got the sword between my legs.
If people are willing to wait 10 minutes, I might just identify the chairs.
Out of curiosity, which chair is more comfortable, this one or that one?
Oh, mine's extremely comfortable. It's very well made.
But are these as well made? Or worse? Or better?
Considering
Are
this
these
chair,
uniform as well?
this
these
chair
chairs?
was purpose built for me by myself and a couple of other engineers.
Yeah.
So I imagine this one is more comfortable, unless this one was made for me.
That's the question
This
I
is
have.
my chair. It was made for me.
Or do they like automatically adjust when you sit in it to
Roll
get your
me
perfect sit?
insight.
Ooh.
By the way, I'm still very much looking forward to it, but I am in 0 ways ready emotionally to read.
Insight says 20, not natural.
2.
So with my +8 modifier, that's a 10.
Oh!
Wow.
And I did roll guidance on that.
Oh.
8.
So they are comfortable chairs akin to sitting at a dentist's chair. They are designed for comfort, but not for utilitarian comfort. They're not designed to be like an armrest, but they're not designed to be uncomfortable. They're not like made of metal, so hurt you. It's comfortable, but not.
I'm a large boy.
They're
Do I
weird.
fit comfortably?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Rune, who rolled quite well,
Mm-hmm.
they are almost tailor-made to each of you.
They're very comfortable chairs.
Oh, cool. Vaxus sits down.
Oh, I'm not even remotely freaking out for the reasons you think I am right now.
Yeah.
Should you all sit down?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, why not?
The dome starts to hum louder, and suddenly your eyes go blank. You can see nothing, and then a second later, a holographic image surrounds you. You're standing in like an empty void, a blue empty void.
Can we see each other?
You can see each other. You are now standing as a group, 4 of you, in roughly the same position where the chairs would be. Not unlike standing in the simulation deck.
Am I in the chair? Am I in my chair in the simulation?
Or does he have a working leg?
2 economics.
To it?
When you stepped into the simulation deck at the academy, what did you expect to happen?
Oh, wheelchair.
Then you're in a wheelchair. I'm going to go through each of you. Remember that little message I posted into the Slack channel yesterday?
I do.
We will start with Jex. I would like you to describe a memory in your life related to either when you overcame a great challenge, your greatest loss, resilience in the face of adversity, or the moment you decided to head to the academy.
So the fact that a lot of my memories are missing leaves me with one choice. So it was after the being that I couldn't quite see. kind of like it felt like a kind of like a coming of age type thing, but imagine it over a much longer period of time, so long that it almost lost its meaning, and it's kind of like now son, it's time for you to go out into the great world, but there was a firmness and an urgency and a direction to it, like I need you to head to the academy. If you want to save your planet, you've got to help heroes. And it was like being told to wake up out of a dream. And so yeah, that was the kind of the clarity at that point that I could then escape into the...
So you get about a minute of effectively your past being displayed in front of everyone. And then at the end of that minute, everything kind of freezes in place, and then glyphs start to appear around every single thing and person in this environment. So, glass bottle manufactured, blah 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 blah. Wooden table manufactured, blah 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 blah. Any people in this scene?
What, when I'm talking to the ethereal being?
So if the ethereal being is there?
Yeah. The ethereal being is there. It's just me and them.
I didn't account for this, so 1 second. So everything that can be quantified and qualified is labelled and tagged. And then next to this ethereal being, you get... Where is it? Apologies.
That's right.
There it is. You will get the... I'll go on this one. DC01. Category 0 Divine Being Variant B.
That's a whole nonsense worse than they'd be very excited.
I have remembered a question you asked me once.
Yep.
So is the ethereal being... Is that the one that's tagged as DC01?
DC01.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Category 0 Divine Being. Variant B. After a few moments, the image fades away. Ido,
Yeah.
describe for me a moment in your past.
Right, so here's the thing, Rich. I picked one to do as a bit.
And now it's not so
And
fun
now it's
anymore.
not so funny. So give me a hot second. I'll be able to tell you which one it was. I had another idea, but I was going to say it was going to be like the moment I said the head of the academy, and it was like a freshers fair, Doctors Without Borders kind of thing. However, I think given the seriousness of the occasion, I think it's probably resilient in the face of adversity. And you see, Ido has never displayed weakness for even a single second in front of any kind. He had literally had a Malpighi tubal hanging out, and was being, stiff upper lip in the face of like adversity, as it were. I think what you see is a younger Ido. I don't know how you can tell that on a mantis, but like
Smaller, actually, wouldn't it be? Because he'd be
no,
like...
because it's not. He's still in his imago form.
okay.
It's after his 6th ecdysis, his 6th mole, but the chitin is very new and fresh, and it is him, like in a physiotherapy room on Uth, sort of doing like various kind of like exercises to strengthen his arm muscles in both his upper and middle arms, and you can see the drying injury to his lower legs are clearly very fresh, both physically and emotionally.
Again, about a minute of playback, and then it all slows down to a stop. Everything is tagged, quantified. Anything you want to call attention to in that moment?
I mean, I don't have any of those fancy divine beings, for one thing.
Are you in the chair that you are in now?
No,
Or
I am.
This is
this
before
chair
that
has
has
not
been
been
made.
built.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question as a player more than as a character. The multi-tool that I got from the random fate bullshit, I presume that's not present.
Would you expect it to be here based on your current knowledge of how you got the tool?
I'd be curious as to whether it was here.
It's not there.
Cool. I don't think so, no.
Okay. The image starts to fade out. Glitches for a second. And then fades out. Rune.
I think you see the moment the Illithid pirates attacked her family, and it's just replaying, and Rune just goes dead quiet. I don't want to see this again. Talking about it was bad enough.
I think what's worse for you is that the image will slow down to freezing halt and you get to see it in every tiny detail. Categorized, quantified, qualified.
And there's like the names of all of her parents and things. You wanted to know their names. There they all are. Look, there's the bracers my birth parents gave to me. The ones that she's wearing right now.
Were they from...
That's where she thinks they're from.
Right.
Well, from
The bracers, the ones she got from the Fatey thing.
not there.
That's
And you were
weird.
expecting to see them.
I was expecting to see him, yeah. That's strange. I wonder if I can see that weird god that pulled me into safety as well. So I assume I see myself like floating away and then just stopped.
Not yet. The image fades. This time, much bigger glitch. And suddenly you are yanked, all of you, to a beach with a table. And
This is the one where we went before, where we could see the Spelljammer Academy being strung
all
along
close
the back.
figures. The familiar table standing around it. It is not often that you can look into the face of a god and then not be able to react back. But you see the faces of the Fates. Istus. Category 1, Divine Being, Variant B.
Category 1.
Category 1, Divine
Does it have a DC?
It has a name. So, whereas the other one, where its name would
Was
be
just
DC01.
DC 0.
But this is a named god. At least, for whatever else it's worth, she did rescue me. They rescued me? It?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a funky one.
Mm-hmm.
It would be about something that would have, I guess, occurred to Ido because he's smarter than I am. I know I've done this entire character as a fucking bit. I appreciate that. And I know that I said that the divine beings on Ido's planet were the great id, great ego, and great super ego, and were a suffusing force of a trillion hive mind. A trillion strong hive mind. Is that represented at all in the image of Ido?
So,
There is no being that is a god there.
that's the thing. I'll give you this. The reason that you got tags and labels is because they were there at that moment.
Yeah.
The god directly spoke to Jax, directly spoke to all four of you. With their
So
own-
unless I was
Unless there
doing
was
hefty
one-
divine casting and they
Yeah.
were doing divine intervention, step in. Right,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Continue, sorry.
You said category 1 is this
Category 1, Divine Being, Variant B.
Can we move in this at all?
Yep.
So I will extend a very long arm and place it gently on your shoulder.
It's okay, yeah. I just didn't have to. I didn't expect to relive it twice within a week.
Vax just hand on your shoulder and gives a big squeeze. Not enough to break bones or anything.
Ow.
It's more of a comforting.
I'm okay.
I will. Yeah.
Everyone's got tragedy in their lives. It's just.
I think the way that the way that Ido's sort of wishing to, extend the same kind of comfort.
I've added the word greater.
Ooh.
Greater divine being.
It's the fates, man.
That's
There's a bit more respect than.
That's fair.
Not sort of able to physically interact with Rune in the same way, considering you're kind of already full, and also I'm lower down. I think you
touch
just
me on
feel
the thing.
sanctuary being cast on you.
I'm not alone now. I'm okay. I miss them sometimes, and there was a lot of them. It was like you were never alone, and now I'm not alone again, so it's okay.
Makes you feel any better. Next time I see a squiddy, I'll rip its head off and turn its skull into an ashtray. I don't even smoke, but I'll do that for you.
You'll smoke for me.
No, I will make an ashtray.
Oh, all right. They're really strong.
I'll try.
Okay. Try not to die. Try that first.
I'll try not to die.
The image glitches and fades out. Axis. What moment are you going to pick?
Okay, I'm going to say Vaxis in a lifeboat in the astral sea, slowly sailing away. Vaxis is in nothing but a loincloth. fresh, and not so fresh wounds from Doctor, whips and chains. He's got he's got manacles on his hands and feet, but the chains on them have been broken. He's got the sword and still in the stone. The stone is a bit more. There's a bit more to it than the current present. A little bit more has been chipped off since then, but it's close. And he is in the lifeboat, sailing away from a Neogi slave ship that is on fire, with people screaming and running around trying to put out the fire, and this one Neogi wearing a captain's hat, who's got some burns on the side of his face, is going at the lifeboat. In fact, it's just going.
And that is where the image decides to freeze.
But this is the point. So Vaxis go. This is where I decided that I liked being a sailor.
That?
I'm just going to put that there.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It comes off somewhere. Just stick it back on. This is the point where I decided to join the academy.
This.
Yeah.
Right.
The image begins to fade. Oh.
I want to see if the sword has a label.
Has that Lord Doctor in yet?
I've got a item for it. I just think I've called it Vaxis' longsword day. Come on, D&D Beyond.
Does the stone around the sword?
Oh, and is it
Now,
separate label?
that is a good
Yeah.
question.
So the sword itself, I've just called it Vaxis' longsword. So if you have a family name you want to give it, it will call it there.
Runic longsword.
That feels a little on the
nice.
nose.
Oh, that is tempting. Well, I could also say Vorpal sword. No.
So every item in this projected space has a label next to it. It is so if I pick up the spot, it would be like glued to it, fixed in space.
Even as we
that.
move around it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's
Yeah.
from opposite. Yeah.
Would the bottle cap have a separate label as it is designed to come apart?
Sure.
Okay.
For your sword specifically, you saw these things fade next to every single item. Specifically around the stone for your sword, it's like question mark, unable to identify, unable to identify, unable to identify.
Have I tried casting Identify on the
I
stone?
don't think
The
so.
other thing that I want to know the name of is the captain.
Does it
What,
also?
the captain of the slave ship?
Yep.
Does it also?
Oh, did give you the name for that. But I
And
don't
does it
remember
also
exactly.
list survivors, like population, like aboard the slave ship?
Yeah.
And at the point that it's on fire,
We're seeing the number tick down.
like, yeah, is the population 0 or?
No,
no?
I disabled the rudder chain, so they weren't able to chase me. But I mean, when I said the rudder chain, I basically
You
sabotaged.
punched the rubber chain, yes.
I
We
sabotaged
know
the
you
Spelljammer helm,
Yes.
Yes.
and so they weren't able to follow me. And I did set the explosive, but I don't think it was enough to destroy it. So he's probably still out there hunting me down.
But that's what I'm asking.
You saw it ticking down through the minute that you had of playback from mid-20s, 30s. By the time it freeze frame, it is single digits, 4 or 5. And as this
I'm
image...
going to say that the name of the sword is nigh unpronounceable,
Okay.
with lots of apostrophes and things in it, and it's like, I mean, it's the name probably comes from a long dead language. It because the prophecy had to be translated into our modern tongue. That's why the cult, they follow the same prophecy but different because it was translated differently.
This sword is in some kind of archaic, unpronounceable dead language.
I was going to call it bonjour. Rasalt.
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 So the image of you giving the bird to this boat fades out, and then the most violent glitch so far happens, and the entire image shifts, and you are standing in a very familiar courtyard, and a 12-year-old Vaxis is standing next to a plinth. Around him, crowds of people are cheering him on. In his hands, free of the stone, is a mighty longsword raised above his head. The tag next to him says, Iteration 1.
What iteration number were we given?
You are...
We're 47.
4,000, whatever.
No, you are 493,653.
We're well down the road.
Well, you know what they say. 493,026 time lucky. Or whatever the number was.
Iteration 1? Have we done this that many times and not one? Well, you pulled the sword the first time.
That's kind of disappointing.
Apparently it didn't go well, though.
No, maybe not.
The whole holographic projection fades. You are standing. You are sitting in the chairs, back in the room. You all get a point of inspiration.
Ooh.
I'm going to
I
roll. I'm going to roll a composure check.
I need to ask how you could, in good conscience, do this and still expect me to sleep tonight.
I think Rune gets up from the chair very slowly, and then goes over to you, and goes, I don't, and very quietly.
You can do it telepathically.
Yeah. So telepathically goes, I think that stone is a probe. The one on his sword.
Vexus,
Yeah.
could you be a dear and come over here a moment? Bring the sword.
Sure.
I cast
Just
identify
need a
on the
moment.
stone.
Vaxis is stood in the corner, just looking at the wall, pretending that it's very interesting.
I can't. Is he okay?
I understand, Vexus. Not my finest hour either.
Describe for me how you identify the stone.
I'm gonna jam my little hooky feet on her and
On the outer stone, are you trying to get your hands into like where the sword is loosened?
honestly first one then t'other.
Are you going to do the sword as well?
So
The sword is nothing.
I'm gonna do. I am gonna retreat. I think you see Ido really repress some shit right now that has been locked up in a little box for a real long time.
and he goes into full, like, he's almost doing an autopsy of the sword at this point. Everything, it catalogued everything, and he saw all the medical terminology laid bare that he has been not thinking about for a while. And therefore he does the same thing. He goes through and every tiny thing is catalogued and identified at this point.
Am I right in saying, did you end up casting Detect Magic in the end?
No.
You didn't.
No.
You were going straight to Identify.
Oh.
I honestly,
Wobblies.
this may be a character flaw, but yes.
So you first do it on the outer stone. What happens if I do Detect Magic on this? It's just
It's nothing. There's no yeah. On the sword then.
It is a magical sword.
But not that magical.
No, not that magical.
It's a pretty nice sword.
It is a +1 magical sword.
Cool. And then on the shifty bit
On the inside.
on the inside.
So last session, I asked Ryan when he tried to grab a crystal to roll me a con save. And I told him to roll well.
Mike, could I get you to double check?
That is a natural 20.
Ooh. Mwah.
Congratulations.
Yes. So you rolled mid, I think 17, 16, like mid.
I rolled enough for a minor success.
Minor success. You on that 20. You can pick any mental stat and give it a +2.
Matron.
What's your int at the moment?
My int is at 19.
Oh.
Does
it go to a maximum of 20, or can that go beyond?
Break
It goes
there.
beyond.
Ooh.
Would that you know how like stats are usually like you could increase to a maximum 20. Does my maximum now increase?
By 2.
In him gaining more intelligence is not good for him.
But
I'm gonna add a +2 to my intelligence. Oh shit, he's gonna get worse.
So Vax has tried to use force, and so it is a physical stat.
Yeah,
you're
that's
trying to use
I am pouring raw ego and intellect into this thing because you don't dissect me, I dissect you. Yeah.
Annoyingly, that means that my maximum is now 21, which is not enough to get the damn bonus of a.
Yeah.
You could always touch it again, see what happens.
No, that was the crystal.
Oh yeah, true.
I suppose if I try to yank out the sword by brute force,
Oh, matron.
what have you done?
No, just looking at that and thinking, like, I made this character as a bit and now he's unhealthy again. Oh god, my trauma's showing. You're really going to strip me emotionally naked in this Denny's parking lot like this?
And
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
you are flown back against the wall from just touching it with your mind.
Yeah.
You've succeeded in your resistance against
Are
it.
you okay?
Oh, this is Joe reacting to that. How is Ido going to react to this now? Perfectly fine.
That is oddly calm for somebody being thrown across the room.
Yep.
And I'll say, like, your mind's eye opens in that moment. You get a glimpse of maybe a little bit of your past, a little bit of the future.
Yes.
You stare into infinity.
Stare into infinity. Yeah, you're not getting specifics.
Can I try and make some kind of check to concentrate on the termination of Ido, please?
Sure.
What would you like me to make?
Wisdom save.
A wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
It's a +4, so that's a 16.
Not enough.
That's fair enough. That's fair, yeah.
And then, for no reason whatsoever, you can add to your character sheet resistance to etheric radiation, and you can add to your character sheet immunity to etheric radiation.
Ooh. But there is no.
Up in defences.
Yeah, but you can't add a custom one.
Really? I've got customise.
Okay, fine.
You don't have to add it. Just bear in mind that you now have.
Oh,
I'm going to add
those
it in
things.
features and traits or something.
Mhm.
Resistance to etheric radiation.
Mhm.
Bud. Oh.
And the last lingering thing that you get is that you feel that whatever the thing you just touched has fused with the sword.
Fused with the
Fused
sword.
with the sword.
What? Oh, right. So the thing that I touched that I was identifying rather than piece of my mind.
You're correct. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Holy shit. Could I please reduce my charisma score by the same amount
Sure.
as
I'm not going to say no to that.
as ego truly is starting to overtake to an unhealthy degree? Because that's what I think is ego, super ego is whiz, and id is charisma. And yeah, like you get so my charisma is now 5.
Oh my god.
That immunity to charms really helps.
I'm happy to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, you are now back in the room. You've identified the
So did I get any information from it about what it was, other than just getting my mind eye blown open?
You see an image of a star whose light is so bright that it, even in this imaginary context, it is blinding to you.
I will share that information completely dispassionately.
Can I make another medicine check to see if you are still you?
Yeah.
Oh.
18 this time.
It's still him. You get if you can remember back to the last session where you saw like a haze above this crystal that was.
Yeah. Because you described it as like a heat
wave. Yeah. Ido has when you're examining him, he has a little bit of that, but it is fading fast.
You've been exposed to something.
Yes, probably.
Physician, heal myself.
I'm not unwell in any way.
You don't feel different?
Mm.
You
Suppose
sound
so.
you sound different.
Yes, well. Yeah, it's been a trying day, has it not? I mean, you experienced quite some emotional trauma, as did I.
Yes, but you seem to be taking it as well as he.
Well, it was extremely painful.
Yes. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Should you be?
No, I'm not a psychologist. I'm a doctor.
Isn't
More specifically, I'm a surgeon. The
Oh,
emotional
right.
well-being of my patients is hardly my concern.
Oh. I'm a bit worried.
Shall we move on?
Rich, I made this character as a bit, and you forced me to do this. This is your
I'm
fault.
so sorry.
I'm going to check on him.
Oh, are you still stood in the corner?
No.
Okay.
However, he has left the room.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
check on him.
Yeah.
I don't
Are
know
you-
what to do about that. That's
Sorry, are
beyond
you
my
running
abilities.
towards that door?
No.
Or are you
But
just-
while this conversation's been going on,
Where's
As-
Vaxis?
As you walk into the central room, it's almost like the machine is like, you're here. And then the lights in that room light up, and the glass door slides open.
Does it slide open, or does it? Does he get the warning message
Ooh,
again?
there's more doors.
Like the.
So the door opens before he even gets to it.
Oh.
Interesting. Even though he's got the.
But as he gets to it, the door then.
Oh, okay.
That-
So,
You left the sword in here with us.
No.
So you have to take it with you.
so the proximity. So a proximity sensor goes off. It opens the door, and then the sword gets closer, and it goes, "Oh no, you're not allowed through." And then you can manually open it, kind of thing. Okay, yeah. That's
Vaxis will actually put the sword down about here,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
okay.
and then we'll walk towards the door.
So I go after. So
And this is notably the first time that Vaxis has ever let the sword go out of his
so
sight
I think
since you've known him.
I think this is what happens. Rune exits the room, sees Vaxis entering the second room, sees the sword, goes over to grab the sword, and just grabs the handle and pulls, like she's expecting the rock to hold it. What happens, Rich?
And you pull the sword.
I pull the sword, but I'm expecting it to stay with the rock.
At the moment, nothing happens unless the thing that I showed you is going to change that.
No.
Okay. So pulls the sword, grabs it, and takes it with her.
I mean, that was tempting, especially as Rune was pulling it.
I'll give you this. It is even looser than before.
I'll deal with that in a minute.
Yeah, Vaxis is through
Vaxis.
that door.
And then Rune runs after.
Follow, yeah.
We'll then follow, but we're
Vaxis, are you alright?
Yep, just got things to do. Got more of this station to explore.
Yes, exactly.
You step
Right.
into what appears to be an observation chamber. Darkened glass. Glass shows a darkened room beyond. As you enter, lights will turn on and will light up a room beyond.
Are they more hard?
Through the transparent pane stretches a vast space filled with towering structures reaching up to the ceiling. These impressive structures, standing like colossal pillars, are filled with mysterious devices. At the centre of the room that you're in, a single terminal awaits. The screen springs into life. One long horizontal line in the middle of the screen, and above it the words, "Greetings, Wavebringers." And then as you're all entering the room,
Yeah.
a panel in front of the screen slides open, revealing
A gun.
What the hell is that?
Oh!
Yeah, gun. Oh.
4 bracelets. They consist of a metal enclosure containing a quartz crystal with what looks like a synthetic cord that acts as a bracelet.
Identify.
Quite nice. It matches my skin tone.
They are. It is. Whilst a lot of the things in this room are in this space that you've explored so far is machinery, you don't know what powers the crystalline structure, how it really works. Not even your magic can really tell that.
Yeah.
You know it is linked to what you perceive with your identify to be a vast database of knowledge. And,
Then that's going straight on the wrist.
and with that, I can finally give out my tier 2. So it was you
Yep.
and who's the other one?
Jess.
Yeah, Vaxis has already put the bracelet on. He's
So
being decisive.
before you look at that, I will tell you that the thing that you just put on your wrist,
Guess may as well.
it is a Lightwave bracelet from the Prophecy. Coronifer constructed Lightwave bracelet used to communicate with Destiny Waypoint agents. The Prophecy variant grants access to the iteration probabilistic dataset and grants the following benefit. Calculated portent. Access to the dataset has allowed you to determine the most likely outcome of the event. Roll 2 d20s and record the numbers rolled. You can replace any attack roll, saving throw, ability check made by you or a creature that you can see with one of these foretelling rolls. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll in this way only once per turn. Recharges upon entry to a Coronifer Celestial Station.
Oh.
I've
that's
just
a good
twigged
one.
something as well.
Yeah.
What were the other ones? What were the other stations called? Because the Astrolabe, Workshop,
Can you pass those down
Confinement,
to right?
Watchtower. These are immortal sites, effectively. They each do a different thing. They're not just they're not just names. They
They mean
So the
thing.
Astrolabe is about presumably celestial navigation. The Prophecy is fucking Pam from Fallout 4.
Mm.
The Workshop. Oh, I have bad feelings about the Workshop. Confinement is tremendously fucking interesting. The Watchtower. So that is watching out for new gods being created. Would be my guess.
Uh,
Boy.
Let me know if you can add that to your character sheet. The item I just posted.
Lightweight piercing protection.
Now that one, does that mean that I get one extra,
Yes.
or I add? Okay, cool. In that case, I will pick that one. Then.
What is this word beginning with C?
Coronifer.
Yes.
You're in a Coronifer celestial station.
This is Project Corona.
So those are
Yes.
upgrades to the bracelet you just got.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, so I'll take.
Which is why I couldn't give you it until you got the bracelet.
Right.
I mean, the
Yeah,
fact
I'll
that
take-
the
I'll
fact
take
that
plus
there's
one.
also
So I need
yes,
to. Have you got
plus
pen or
1
something?
dice.
I will.
You mark that off. Okay, cool. It's fine. So do we roll them now and
Roll
then
them now,
store
and I will
Okay.
record them.
Should we all roll them now?
Yes, please.
2d20?
Yes, please. 1 second.
That's 8.
15 and 4.
8 and natural 1.
A natural
1
19.
second. 15 and 4.
Yep.
And
19.
19 and
13.
13.
8 and natural 1.
Natural one's very good.
1.
Yes.
4.
Yep.
5.
Yep.
15.
Cool.
So we know what
Oh,
item
that-
checks meant for.
I know which one you took.
Oh boy.
Oh, the 2 below.
The 2
corner for
below
upgrades.
it are upgrades for the bracelet.
Right, I get it now.
Sorry if that wasn't clear.
I just noticed. I just seen they're indented, and it's like, oh, that's what that means. Maybe like a little dink arrow
Yeah.
might have worked. On it. Okay, I am tempted by a.
One day you will know why I'm freaking out.
Sometime in May.
Yeah, I think April.
Okay, so I could take an ASI.
Oh.
Would that be a feat? Would that include feats?
So
Or
it's
is it
plus 1 ASI. To your.
oh, plus 1, not a plus 2. Okay,
Yes.
yes. So it's not plus. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I may have.
Okay.
misread.
I am tempted by a ring of protection. Now that I'm staring at it,
Yeah.
I might release
Okay. You don't have to do it. You now have the ability to release.
at any
Any
time.
point, as you can choose to do it as Ryan. You can choose that Vaxus gains the knowledge that he can do that. However you want to play it.
Okay,
No.
I'm gonna say that Vaxus doesn't know yet.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
Sure.
just for story reasons.
Yeah. And I have a stat block ready to go when you do.
I think Rune has the sword and just hands it back to you.
Okay, as she's handing it over, the stone's just gonna slide off.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, congratulations!
But
So you're the chosen
Great choice.
one.
Great choice.
out of character, maximum drama. Always, I choose the choice of maximum drama. But yeah.
The path of most resistance.
Oh,
So is the sword
this
yours
is-
now?
I can't use this.
Free. Technically, rogues do have longsword proficiency.
Is it long? Is it
Yeah,
long?
you get longsword proficiency for reasons which fucking baffle me.
But you use this.
I use these. But I'll hold on to it for you until you need it to save the world. Universe.
Oh, yes, because that way you'll know that you'll never be alone. Because it's your sword and he's destined to give it to you, but if he's holding on to it, then you'll always be together.
Kind of like that.
So, mechanically, how many bracelets were there?
One for each of you.
4.
Not 8.
No. And just because I want to describe it, a weapon of Vaxus, redacted. This longsword is fused to a piece of redacted that emanates pulsating etheric temporal radiation. The longsword grants the following benefits: gain a +1 bonus for attack and damage rolls. You receive a vision of an upcoming event in your time machine when you can act against it. Gain 1 usage of legendary resistance to any melee attack whilst wielding this weapon. You gain all expended uses when you finish a long rest if you are resistant to etheric radiation. Whilst the sword...
Well, if you're immune to it.
Only if you're resistant or immune to it.
Oh, okay.
Whilst the sword is embedded in redacted, it gains an additional 1d6 etheric damage to any target it hits. That target must succeed a DC 13 con save or roll on the etheric radiation table. A target cannot be under more than one effect at any time. If you do not have resistance to etheric radiation, at the end of a long rest, take 1d4 points of psychic damage.
I think Ido is obviously there's an emotional thing happening here, an emotional thing happening here, and I have 5 charisma. So I'm going to wheel over to the stuff that has slid off and see if I can sort of collect it up and see if there is anything. Does it appear that the stuff that I touched that mind whammied me across the room has like been sustained?
Yeah.
Or
And then now that the sword is free, you can see like the part of that sword has turned black, almost like it's dripping with ooze, but it's.
is it on
solidifying.
the sword or is it in
It
the
is
rubble?
mostly on the sword. There is tiny.
In that
little
case, I
bits
shall
left in
collect up into specimen jars
Mhm.
the stuff that is not
Yep.
on the sword and
Yep.
prepare for human experimentation.
Oh, I'm not human.
Neither might. Oh dear.
Yeah, but he's immune, so he'd be a
That-
No, you're valuable.
Oh, this was out of character.
I know.
So was that mostly.
And after that moment, the horizontal line turns into a waveform as you hear a voice saying, "Greetings, Wavebringers.
Hello?
Good day.
Thank you for coming. Your presence has allowed us to calibrate the probability matrix to minimise iteration variance. We are now plotting the prophecy to ensure timely completion of the cycle towards a tidal singularity event."
cycle of what?
What prophecy are you attempting to create?
The prophecy's primary objective is to build a probabilistic dataset towards the tidal singularity event. It is a large warp in the fabric of space-time, and alongside the release of a massive wave of etheric temporal radiation. It is caused by the total collapse of what you refer to as a wild space system.
Oh.
Has this wild space system already collapsed, or is it going to collapse?
Are we experiencing the
From
backward
whose
ripples?
point of view?
From our temporal frame,
It has not happened yet.
but it will.
Yes.
The prophecy is attempting to avert it happening.
No, we very much want to ensure it happens.
And
And the name of the system?
It is... I think it's...
System 2?
No, System 1.
Oh, why do you want
Are
to?
we in System 1?
You're in System 2.
Where's the Septilian?
What was the name of... Is there a... Sorry, my brain's gone... Joe's brain's gone completely blank the word. Like a common name, like a... What is the colloquial name of the System 1?
What did it tell me? Redacted.
Why do you want to
It's not
collapse?
fucking funny from this side of the table, is it?
Why do you want to collapse an entire wild space system?
The complete destruction of a world system of the system the complete destruction of System 1 allows us to collect enough data to initiate a temporal warp, as well as releasing large amounts of etheric temporal radiation.
To what end?
Classified.
We are iteration 400, whatever, the huge number.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done this that many times then?
The prophecy's primary objective is to build a probabilistic dataset to generate a comprehensive understanding of the probabilities associated with different actions, decisions, or interventions. This facility transcends conventional predictive models and techniques. By utilising the tidal singularity event, our data arrays contain an ever-evolving repository of historical patterns that encapsulate the knowledge amassed through countless iterations. This allows us to continuously refine our understanding and mapping of the intricate web of causality. We cross-reference this vast reservoir of information to identify key turning points, pivotal moments, and subtle interventions required to guide at least 4 of the 8 Wavebringers towards a specified temporal and spatial destination.
Where are the other 4 Wavebringers?
Redacted.
Do you know?
Yes.
Or why only 4?
The events that trigger the tidal singularity event require just one person to activate. However, we find that in most iterations, a group of 4 individuals will most likely accomplish this goal.
So you need us to turn on the machine at the end of whatever this thing
From
is.
our temporal frame, how long in Tauridian solar cycles until the tidal event?
So, in game,
Mhm.
it will give you a number.
Yeah.
You know how you watch like a season of TV and they tell you about an event that happens. You go, hang on a minute, that's like the season finale of this show. That's what's going to be the last episode of this show. It is kind of like, it gives you a time frame that is roughly
X amount
X
of
amount of time in the
future.
future that will correlate to roughly towards the end of the campaign. I don't know how many sessions that's going to be.
Gotcha.
There's
but-
also a lot of work to figure out travel time as well. over
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that,
Yeah.
If I had to put a number on it, I would say within a year.
Okay. But so in character, it's within a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not a lot.
So it's not.
Not immediately.
Bring up all information about the termination of Dr. Idolomatus James.
Redacted.
You had to see that one coming. I mean, really.
Roll me an insight check.
I did not have to. Insight, you say?
Mhm.
That's a D12. I'm not going to use that one. Can I roll guidance on that one?
Sure.
21.
It is. There is a very clear delineation between what is classified and what is
Was
redacted.
redacted. Yeah. I got that one actually. Because my favourite is classified.
What is the use of the probes in that previous room that we were in? For example, one of them said, was it 40? One of them said 45 termination of Dr. Idolomatus James. What general use do those probes have?
The probabilistic dataset that we have created has identified a number of key turning points in each of your time streams. With subtle intervention, we can ensure A, your survival, and B, a most efficient outcome towards getting you to the desired temporal and spatial destination.
So the termination of Dr. Idolomatus James is a part of your plan.
No, it is to be devoided.
It's to be avoided.
good
The
news.
probes
Very
are
good.
designed to
We
keep us alive.
encountered-
So that probe is your best friend in the universe at the moment.
I don't have any friends.
I'm your
I
friend.
disagree, but yes.
I'm your friend.
What is attacking the watchtower?
The watchtower specifically, nothing.
Is the
What is
watch?
Did you mean the confinement?
Is the
I
I
do.
did. I did. Yes, yes. Sorry, the one that's taken minimal damage. Yes. What is attacking the confinement?
There is a large collection of destinational waypoint agents that have been corrupted by ethereal radiation. They have gone against our programming. They are trying to escape and prevent the tidal singularity event.
If I bring up a minor illusion or similar of the crystal struck probe that we found in the ship, is this to what you refer?
Yes, that is a star shard.
What is a star shard?
It is a portion of the star created by the tidal singularity event. It both transcends spatial and temporal space, thus allowing transcendence back in time.
Is this one of them holding up the stone?
The material that you hold contains a part of a star shard.
Interesting.
The rest of the star shard is now corrupted around your sword.
Ah.
And I'll hold up the pieces that I collected in the jars. And these,
Those are also pieces of the star shard.
more
They are
remnants.
too small to cause any trouble and will most likely fade away over time. And you can see that one of the pieces has already disappeared.
Ah.
Just
The probe that we found,
Mhm.
probe 30...
Mhm.
This is me asking the question to the computer. The probe that we found, probe 37, said termination of Vaxis by Beholder. But that particular probe had the crystal stuck in it. Does that mean that it's no longer able to fulfill its function, or has it already done so?
Its function was already completed.
Okay.
At what points on from our temporal frame are we currently in terms of the sequence of events?
Please clarify.
Which number probe are we at?
These probes, these events, as they increase in numerical sequence, increase in chronological order, do they not?
Correct.
At what point on the scale do we lie?
39.
Oh.
Piss! That was out of character. So be it. Like you could kill me anyway.
Okay.
I touched that crystal and sort of absorbed it. Have I become infected by the star shard thing now?
No, your exposure to etheric radiation began when you pulled the sword. How many years ago when you pulled that sword from the stone?
Oh, I have forgotten.
However old Vaxis is minus 12,
Mm-hmm.
but in a different iteration.
No,
No,
when he
in this
pulled the
iteration. When you pulled the
Well,
sword.
well,
sword with the stone with it,
When I started carrying the
Got
sword
you,
and
got you,
stone.
got you, got you.
you've been exposed to it over the last
N
20 years.
21.
Because
I'm 33 now. I pulled it when I was 12.
It appears you have built up an immunity to the
Oh, no,
radiation's
sorry,
effects.
19 years.
Did you orchestrate the murder of my family?
No, 12.
No.
What is divine genesis?
Classified.
Is it the birth of a god?
Classified.
The missing numbers we cannot see. What are those?
Are you referring to the probe?
Sequence probes, yeah.
Some events occur within this system. Those probes remain here. Others have been deployed due to the time constraints it requires to get to the other systems.
So these are events that will take place outside of our spatial reference frame.
Correct.
So only 33, 38, 45, 60, 36 and 37 lie within our... So within
Those are
our
the ones that are
solar
currently
system.
docked here. There are other locations with other
Within
probes.
this system. Please list the coordinates of other stations.
Classified.
Within this system,
Classified.
No, no. System 1, 2, 4, 19, and unknown.
What's your system of origin?
System Prime, and it displays a holographic image of.
are you asking about the
Yeah.
Talam system?
Yeah,
One sun and one planet.
that's what it shows.
What happened to that?
And two moons.
What happened to that system?
Unknown. We lost contact with that system at the beginning of the iteration sequence.
How long ago was the iteration sequence?
20,000. Is it 20,000?
21,300 odd years, yeah.
Mhm.
Did you orchestrate either through inaction or action the death of his family, Mr. Vaxis?
No.
So your first interaction with any of our lives was the destruction of the Flying Foundling?
No.
What was the first interaction?
I think it would. Repeat the question.
What was the first interaction with any of our lives?
In your lives, it will show an image of your parents that very young, like when they first met as lovers, and it will show an image of a creature that has a massive shard of the one similar to the one you saw in the probe.
A creature attacking them, or?
Correct.
And mine?
See, this is Richard doesn't have answers for these.
In that case, to give you a brief moment of to think about it, you just suddenly you hear a very loud bang, and then when you look round, Vaxis has just stood by a big dent in the wall, looking innocent.
Would you mind controlling yourself? We're in a pressurized vessel.
No, we're not.
we not?
No,
No.
it's fine if we.
We're in a delicate piece of. So, I don't. With this now 21 intelligence, will have got it right.
Yeah. it's a weird concept. We're in space, but if you blow
Yeah,
it,
no,
that's
you're absolutely right. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Vax would have at least chosen a bulkhead that was not critical.
Are you alright?
Oh, yeah, fine.
No, you're not. We're going to have a talk later. You're not alright.
No, it's been a while since I used a salmon ladder. I really need to use a salmon ladder soon.
It is past.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a question each.
Oh no.
We'll continue next week.
Yes.
Oh, as in we get to ask.
You get to ask a question,
Oh,
which
right,
we'll
okay.
do now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's better,
To-
worse.
To
one of
end the
those.
session, you all get a question.
I think mine's that. What was its first interaction with my timeline?
Because you're almost like a hive mind type situation.
Yeah. So there's like big spawning chambers with millions of eggs on Uth, and then is it going to be my birth effectively, or?
Yeah. It would show your
Hatching,
hatching, and it will show you almost like a meteor that is coming towards your planet.
I'm sorry, a meteor coming towards Uth.
You have no. There is no.
It averted a planetary apocalypse on Uth in order to keep me alive.
Not all meteors are planet.
Yeah, but this one fucking was. Noted. Thank you.
I think.
I'm the Immortal Project special little guy.
I think. I think Rune asked the same question. What was the first interaction with Rune's life specifically?
Redacted.
He gets
Wait. Classified.
classified.
Ooh.
What did it? But
What was the workshop's function?
The classified.
Yeah.
I feel a little better now.
Do you ask the same question about when it interacted with your?
No,
Okay.
I've chosen not to.
Okay.
Art.
Oh yeah, you've got no memory of your past.
Yes.
Don't you want to know?
Could you indulge me one more question which you once asked me?
Yeah.
And I think it was literally you who asked me. How would we go about making that unclassified? Row access can be obtained.
Have you heard of someone called Love?
Is it classified or redacted?
Or how would we go about getting high-level classification, etc.?
It's thinking. You can tell it's thinking on this one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to go with my gut that says classified.
That's an acceptable answer. Have a great day.
If we had 20 minutes more session, you would have the answer to that question.
Okay, so maybe come back to that next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have two possibilities for a question.
No.
I am going to ask the one
You
that I
can
think.
ask them both.
Well, I mean, I assume that I'm
As long
going
as it's not a lengthy question.
I assume. Well, the second one,
if my answer is redacted or classified,
But
you can ask a second one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I think the first one. This is almost going to certainly be classified or redacted, which is what is the location of system blank?
Are you
whether
referring
it be-
specifically to system, the watchtower, or are you referring to a specific system in one of the others?
Well, not system 2 because that's our system.
Yep.
So let's go system 4.
Which station is that?
It's the workshop.
It will show you. It will show you back to the system that you're in now, system 2.
Mm-hmm.
It'll then show system 4, and it'll then zoom out with the gap between them widening and you get like a haze in between those two systems, and you can then see it like lines, almost like it's trying to work out a route, and it keeps doing that, calculating, and then it, ding, and it shows you shows you how to get there.
Okay, cool. And my second question is,
You'll also say this is our calculated route from System 2 to System 4. It's not a route that you can use.
Why?
It will murder us.
Sorry, I'll wind that back. This route is designed for Coronifer probes.
Our ships
Wouldn't be able to make the journey.
Incorrect.
Our
wouldn't be
ships.
able-
How long would the journey take?
From whose point of reference?
Mine.
Using our current spelljamming ship.
9,423 years.
There's the badger.
Okay. Okay, and
Even an elf can't
the
do it that
main
long.
question I really wanted to ask: what objective do you are you wanting us to fulfil next?
Ooh.
Redacted.
And that's what we want.
Terrible.
Any information that we provide you will affect the probabilistic outcome.
So you
Hey,
want us to
you changed the outcome by measuring it.
So
I
you
didn't
want
know.
us to continue doing whatever we want to do, and you're trusting that you've nudged us to do that we'll do whatever it is you're looking for us to do anyway.
No, we do not trust. We know.
It doesn't even matter because we're just another iteration.
Yeah,
They'll
they're trying to
try
work
again.
out what are, because they've got like hundreds of thousands of models, and so they're based on what we do, matches it with a particular model or selection of models, which narrows their field.
I need to play Bioshock Infinite again.
There's always a watchtower. Oh, I like this.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to ask him.
No.
Oh, that's one more. Go on.
I was like,
While people are packing up.
Well, we're
Yeah,
backing
yeah.
up.
just have we already asked what it wants? Well, it wants there to be a collapse, right?
Yes.
Of was
It wants
one?
System 1 to collapse.
Yes, to cause the waveform which will destroy the universe. But then they can just
Negative. The
they can-
wild space system.
It will destroy
Only
that
System
Wild
1.
Space System.
Correct.
Is Wild Space System 1 inhabited?
Yes.
By whom?
Lots of people.
Redacted.
How many sentient beings are in Wild Space 1 at this current moment in time?
It'll give you a number in the order of hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands.
Sentient.
Oh, not as many as I'd.
If we,
Oh.
if there's only one planet with two moons, can we ask them
No,
to
there's way more than that on Talam.
can we ask them to display map of System 1?
Well,
Yeah, so it's the same map that it showed you in the main room.
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
the Doom Space one?
No,
Okay.
That's it.
that's System 4.
because we know it's not
that's
planned because that's
1994.
Prime.
That's System Prime.
Yeah.
Also, System Prime is the coolest fucking name you could have given it. those are some fucking great words. It's a top level noun
Right.
and a fucking great adjective.
Now with that, I'm
With-
sure you'll have many questions next time.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Another bottle episode where we just get to ask questions to a machine that will just keep giving us more lore.
No, the machine will just keep